Assemble the accused! Bear witness to their trials! The time of the Inquisition is now at hand. Putting pop culture to the rack, the Inquisition calls to account the events of the week, rooting out heresy wherever it is found. I am Grand Inquisitor Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and joining me for tonight's torture, as always, is Nerdrotic Channel's Grand Inquisitor Gary Beekler. Gary, are you ready to have a little fun tonight?
I am ready to have a little fun tonight. It's been a hell of a weekend. We actually have some stuff to talk, a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't know if we're going to be able to fit it all in, but yeah, a lot of, well, I can't call it Star Trek news. A lot of not news from Star Trek, a lot of nothing from Star Trek. So same old, basically, right?
Yep.
They had a Comic-Con appearance, and I guess that was supposed to be like the biggest panel along with The Walking Dead, right? It was the most publicized, and nothing happened. We learned about a Nickelodeon show that we knew about, right?
Yeah, we learned a title of a Nickelodeon show, Star Trek Prodigy, which really, in my opinion, is not nearly as good as the Star Trek series they were going to release before it, Star Trek Earthlink. But, Star Trek Prodigy is at least better than Star Trek AOL.
Yes.
So I don't know. We'll see.
When each episode starts, you get that AOL sign.
Oh. You've got Trek. No, not really. We don't.
That's about how with the times they are. They probably want to pass out like free pogs with Star Trek Prodigy. I go, that's way too far. It's like, hey, the kids like Nickelodeon.
It is embarrassing how absolute. Look, I mean, that's why I didn't watch. Two reasons I didn't watch. Okay, people were saying, "Oh, you're gonna watch this?" Like, no. It was pre-recorded, so they weren't going to be able to take any questions. And they turned off chat and everything anyway, right, Gary?
Yes.
You said that.
Yep.
And two, there's literally no chance of any news being broken because they do not have the money to do another show. So I don't give a damn what anybody says. There are many people who know a lot in the industry that are saying, well, this and that. Still stand by my just gut prediction. This is not a rumor or a tip. This is just my gut feeling. It is like going to be at least a year before they can even really ramp up a production, in my opinion. I don't care what they say. How are they going to find somebody to insure Patrick Stewart in this age of beer buggery? And then it's going to take another 6 months to. I mean, we're not going to see a thing for like a year and a half. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Hell, we haven't even got Star Trek Discovery season 3 yet.
Yeah. God, how long has it been since start? I mean, it's been great. I know
it's not been long enough, but it has been a long time.
It has been a long time.
I mean, they are in desperate trouble with Star Trek Discovery season 3 because they have torn down the sets, but they were so incompetent during the production that there are holes in their coverage and things that they need to fix plot-wise, Gary, that they don't have. So I understand now that they're doing some kind of reshoots. It must be entirely on green screen, and they're going to hope to find like backgrounds that they can paste in from extra footage or screen grabs, or they'll digitally erase one actor and put the other one in there or something like that. It's sad. It is sad.
And that's going to cost them a fortune. It is. Do you know, by the way, Hollywood was getting really cheap on writers, but visual effects supervisors, people who work in visual effects, people who work in metadata, man, this is the time to negotiate the best salary you possibly can because they're going to need you more than ever. So do not give it up for cheap. That was the biggest problem in Hollywood is so many people were willing to work for next to nothing and screwing over the rest of us. It's like, dude, know your value. And everybody in metadata, everybody in special effects, You are the most valuable thing in Hollywood now. Act like it, okay? You're a high class hooker now, okay? So act like it. $1,000 an hour kind of stuff. 4-star hotels, maybe even 5-star hotels. No Motel 6s anymore. For a couple hours.
Absolutely. You can forget about being a streetwalker. You are now the predator. You can be a street stalker.
Yes.
Be a street stalker out there.
Okay. Okay. No mention of Section 31 at all. What we heard from Star Trek Discovery season 3 and the language you had to read between the lines because they didn't say much, is that it's coming at some point and they hope it's soon. I think the most interesting thing that wasn't in the panel, it was in the Midnight's Edge video from an article. I can't remember where the article was. Patrick Stewart starting to use the language, CBS remains committed to doing Star Trek Picard season 2. Not we're going to do it. They remain committed. That is dialing it back a little bit. I thought that was pretty interesting. And the fact that they didn't announce anything, and they kind of did what they did last year. Whatever they did have to announce, they did it a week before Comic-Con, which was effed up for Comic-Con. But it doesn't matter. If you go through the Comic-Con, and do not go to the Comic-Con YouTube because it's Activism Con. There's panels like Entertainment is Female and Heroes in Academia. I mean, just really gripping stuff that has maybe a couple thousand views. It's awful. It's awful. Justice Con was much better. I don't know. These virtual cons don't work for me. I don't know about you, but a lot of the people don't have a lot of experience online. They don't have mics, echoey rooms and webcams, which is fine. That's great if you're like, us, right? But you're professionals. I mean, also look at the late night hosts and their stuff. That was pretty horrible too. So,
it is. It's embarrassing. You'd think at least they could go ahead and get some tech guy to come over in a hazmat suit and set up a fucking mic for them. But c'est la vie, c'est la vie. It's sad. It's look, there's a big difference between being live and in the room with somebody and just watching video. I mean, we watch these actors and shit on video all the time. It is not a big deal. You better have something earth-shaking to announce. Otherwise, why am I going to watch an hour and 15-minute commercial for CBS All Access and the Star Trek, platform, the Star Trek platform? I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in their propaganda. There's no interaction. There's no excitement of something live might happen. Counselor's Troy's, might pop out of her outfit on stage. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But none of that spontaneity is going to happen on a pre-recorded spiel. And you talked about The Walking Dead. I didn't hear a damn thing about it. I didn't hear one word in advance. I didn't even know there was one. Gary, honest to God, I didn't even know it was still on the air. I mean, I haven't watched The Walking Dead since the first season with Negan, and I just said, you know what? I think the last one I saw was Carol met this kind of cool guy with a tiger, and then I was like, well, the tiger's very CG, but I like the guy, but I think I'm just over this, and I just stopped watching then. So I haven't watched since. I probably missed several years. I don't know. I hear the little buckaroo of death died. That's what I used to call Coral. Little buckaroo of death.
Yeah.
You gotta save Coral.
Yeah, I bugged out before Negan in the comic book and the show. And the last one I read was the Negan issue because it released the weekend of Comic-Con in 2013 or right before it. So I was like bored in my booth and I just thumbed through it and I'm like, it doesn't draw me back. I don't care anymore. But yeah, the Star Trek panel pre-recorded and edited, and it still sucked. It's still, and you did hear they copyright claim themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, that is a perfect microcosm of the SJW culture, because once they have, gotten to all of us, they will turn and cannibalize each other because they're flawed and perfect. Just like Nomad, like there will be no planet with life on it that can pass its relentless test of perfection. Well, the same thing with the SJWs. It's just like you'll never, ever, 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 ever. I mean, if you are fighting against racism and you are white, then you are inherently racist. So eventually they'll have to look in the mirror and say, oops, I am the enemy. And they will just self-destruct, immolate, spontaneous human combustion.
No,
and good, thank God.
And that's, what is it the Marxists say for the Democrats? We got a bullet for you. Same thing goes for cancel culture. And we're already starting to see them eat their own. When and we'll get to this later, but when Tom King makes the comics pledge and Snyder does, and all they get in response is, well, it's a little late for that. Or when Dynamite Comics bends the knee, well, you still worked with them. It doesn't do any good. And then you just fucked off hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's what Star Trek does when they pick sides, when they become a political platform. Which is, I think, the biggest news of the weekend is Alex Kurtzman using BLM and the NAACP. Now, as far as these organizations are concerned, you know what? There's always been an NAACP. I don't really have any problem with that. Never did, never will. But as far as BLM, I'm going to tell you, and these opinions do not reflect the opinions of Doomcock. I have a hard time separating them from Antifa right now. When I see the stuff in the streets, I know there's an organization, I know there's people, and I know there's individuals. I'm not talking about the individuals. I'm talking about an organization that I'm having a little trouble separating right now. I got some resentments because my life, all of our lives have been affected by a lot of things, and my life personally has been pretty badly affected here. And so that might be my resentment towards that. But when I see Star Trek, I don't know, you know what, if they supported BLM and the NAACP, but then supported maybe an organization that helps businesses rebuild, okay, I might be open to that. I haven't heard one company offer to give a penny to any of the small businesses that were burned down and destroyed. And, when you see Dynamite and stuff like that, comic shops were destroyed, that they sold their product. And if you think about, I don't know, there's not too many brick and mortars that sell Star Trek merchandise, and nobody sells Star Trek merchandise, so it probably didn't get affected. But yeah, I mean, I don't see any, you want to talk about, they gave a bunch of lip service to unity, right? But not a single word for businesses destroyed. And there have been a lot of them, thousands of them. So I think that's an issue that I'd like to hear. Again, unity, balance, neutrality. Star Trek was for everybody. It was for left, right, all shapes and sizes, and it was never meant to be a tool of influence. And the way Star Trek was the most influential was through its very good storytelling, because the story came first. It was a fun sci-fi show. And I don't know, this just might be my naive view of Star Trek, but I've never seen it as drama you have to pay that much attention to, like serialized storytelling, like a Game of Thrones, like event television. Star Trek is Star Trek. It's episodic, and it's almost light viewing. It's comfortable viewing. But Doomcock, that thing, comfort. We're not allowed to have comfort anymore, apparently.
No, they don't want us to have any comfort. They view us as enemies, and they want to deny comfort to the enemy. But I gotta say, Star Trek shouldn't take sides. I mean, they're exactly. I mean, it doesn't even. But it doesn't even. I mean, even in the first season or first series of Star Trek, I don't feel like they ever, quote, took sides. I think that what they did is they presented a story and, maybe had a point of view in the story, but ultimately it was more complex than merely sides. They enjoyed nuance. For example, in A Private Little War, that is a show basically about the Vietnam War, which was one of the hottest topics at the time. And what happened in that? Well, the Klingons are arming the villagers with more advanced things like flintlocks and things like that, when before they're using bows and arrows and stuff. And Kirk comes to the conclusion, which is not a left-wing conclusion at all, that they have got to arm Tyree and the little villagers equally to what the Klingons are arming them. So basically, advocating for the escalation of the Vietnam War. Now, a lot of people look at it as anti-war. Well, it is. I mean, it's simultaneously anti-war, but it also said, well, you know what is the solution? And essentially Kirk in that one, when he says, beam down how long would it take to manufacture 100 flintlocks? Excuse me, Captain, 100 what? 100 serpents for the Garden of Eden. It was a great episode. That is what Star Trek is at its best, and that's what all narratives are. Just show us a story. Don't tell us. Don't preach to us. If you have a point of view that you wish to espouse, do it narratively, but in such a way that it examines an issue and has nuance, and lets the viewer come to their own decision about it.
Exactly.
All you're doing is throwing a question out there, Gary. You're just kind of like raising up a topic and saying, well, look at this happens, and then what do you can discuss it maybe afterwards, but there would be room for debate in a lot of ways. But I think some truths are self-evident. Like, for instance, they say it's liberal, but I think the Horda, not killing the Horda on planet Janus 7 because it's a monster. I think we should have tolerance. I think we have to have compassion for those who are different than we are. The fact that the bridge was multicultural and multiracial, I think, is something that is not really debatable. I think that's the way it should be, and they don't ever debate it. They just produce it. They show it, just like The Expanse does the same thing, Gary. And that is the best. The Orville, same thing. That's what we need. We need more of that kind of entertainment and less of Kurtzman's heavy-handed propaganda, which is just clumsy, stupid, and ugly. And yeah, Kurtzman, clumsy, stupid, and ugly. You have no business writing anything.
No, the ships are ugly. The shows are ugly. The plots are ugly. He has no understanding of when he tries. The thing is, and we've heard this a lot in our chat, and the people who've put this up are 100% right. This is the best he can do. And I do believe that they think they're the neutral ones. The way they talk, that's how they feel. And this is because when you listen to that panel, you hear the lip service. You hear Star Trek was about being past racism and sexism and stuff. I'm all, yeah, but and hunger and poverty. But I watched Picard, and there was poverty, and there was greed, and there was jealousy, and there was like everything you just said Star Trek had moved past. It was in Picard, and it's been in Star Trek Discovery as well, both seasons. So you don't understand you do understand Star Trek, but you don't have the talent to write it, or you're just bullshitting us and you're writing what you want to write, which is probably the truth.
I'm glad that we've got in the future a cliche as bad as Raffi, who is a dirty little junkie whose kid disavowed her. And we had the most stereotypic scene you can possibly have. I've seen it I can't even tell you how many times I've seen the exact scene where Raffi goes and finds her son. Hey, baby, I'm better. Baby, I'm better now. I'm better. And it's too late, Mom. It's too late. I've married a Romulan, Mom. Now we're having a baby, and it's not going to have anything to do with your junky ass. And then she limps back to the ship and goes on a bender. It's just, and she lives in a trailer defacing the Vasquez rocks, which is just disgusting.
And they did it with the black woman. I mean, they're the racists.
Yeah, right.
They're the goddamn racists. They did it with they made the black woman a junkie, just like they did in the CW for Batgirl as well, for Batwoman as well. And I'm telling you, they are the racists. I mean, they had Rios save the day with a soccer ball, for Christ's sake. Oh my God. But nope, they've got it. They're the progressive ones. They're the ones who have it all figured out. It's a joke. And I mentioned it in my video. It's like they can't even woke and intersectional right. I mean, they suck. I mean, they just suck. The writing is terrible, first and foremost, before you get to anything. So you can't say the agenda derails the show. No, Alex Kurtzman derails the show, and everything he's done sucks. I honestly, he's got pictures of, I don't know. Or they're just stuck with him. Or they're just really good at bullshitting in the offices. And, but you would think CBS would recognize they don't have international distributors for one of their main shows. And you know the main reason. I'm going to just say this for the audience, but I know you know this, that they did this kids Nickelodeon show that's the only way they can get international distribution was through Nickelodeon, whose overall ratings are down 30%. That was last year, not even counting this year with cord cutting. And cord cutting has gone up, by the way, in the era of the beer buggery. I like beer buggery, by the way. That was good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, yeah, Nickelodeon is not going to set the world on fire. You know, it's not gonna set the entertainment world ablaze. It's not gonna recruit new people. I mean, what is it? What is this damn thing going to be about? It sounds horrible. It sounds like basically the further adventures of Wesley Crusher, you know, Star Trek Prodigy. It's going to be about young Sheldon, isn't it? It's going to be young Sheldon in fucking space
I think it's Michael Burnham, don't you? Don't you think it's Michael Burnham?
Oh my God, like tiny Mikey Spock, like Tiny Toons. It'll be like Mikey Spock in a diaper, like running around and inventing, bows and arrows in the past, and invented chariots, invented refrigerators, moving through time, and inventing something, and then leaving a grateful nation state behind. And they always say, "Who was that masked inventor?" That was the Lone Red Angel, aka Mikey Spock. So sick. I don't know. Kurtzman, I would be embarrassed to even. I mean, I would literally throw up every single time I had to go in front of people if I had fucked up as bad as Alex Kurtzman. Where like, how can you? I mean, I'm serious. How can you go out there? How can you have the balls to go out in front of people, knowing that you have just failed and failed and failed and failed and failed at everything except making money for yourself? But in every other instance, Jesus, God, it is mind-blowing how he has torpedoed Spider-Man, how he torpedoed Dark Universe for the Universal Monster reboot. With one movie, killed it dead, stopped it in its tracks, has destroyed Star Trek, brought Star Trek to its lowest point ever. Midnight's Edge did a beautiful video about it. It's mind-blowing. I would throw up, literally. I would be on a junkie. I would be a drunk. I wouldn't be able to face my public. I wouldn't be able to face myself. I don't know how I would go on. I don't know.
These are the people who are doing. These are the guys who are doing the Nickelodeon show. So it's the Hagman brothers, and it's this kind of animation.
Oh God, it looks like crap.
Yep.
I always looked at that kind of stuff, and it just doesn't have much personality.
Nope.
You know, I don't know. I look at that stuff, and it's just like so generic. Where is the flair? You know, am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's a rare cartoon in that way that has any kind of personality or something.
Yeah, if it's not Pixar, what did they do? They did Hotel Transylvania. That's right.
See, a lot of movies I haven't seen because I just am not compelled. You know, it's hard. It is very hard to do CGI animation and make it live. Yeah. I think how to train a dragon.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? That's pretty good. Ice Age, the squirrel, the saber-toothed squirrel in the beginning of Ice Age was the only CG I've ever seen to approach the brilliant comic timing of like the Warner Brothers cartoons. whoever did that squirrel, and it's always different characters done by different animators. I don't know who the guy was that did the squirrel, but the squirrel was brilliant. But beyond that, it is very hard to have anything funny in CG. Although I know Despicable Me has a lot of people that love it, so I have not seen Despicable Me.
I like Despicable Me. The thing is, I saw so many of those movies when my kid was when he was like, I don't know, 3 to like 10. I like wanted to rip my eyeballs out if I ever saw another one. And occasionally I saw one like the Box Trolls was fucking good. And what's the other one? The Two Strings. So-and-so in the Two Strings. Help me, chat. That one was good too. There's like 2 I walked into going, this is going to suck. I'm going to take a little nap through this one. And then I ended up walking out of the Box Trolls because there's cheese was a big theme in it. And like Melissa and I wanted to go get like some really good cheese. And then the Two Strings, so-and-so in the Two Strings was freaking great. I was like, God damn, that was good. And it was dark. I was like, oh, yeah, because the kid walked out there hating it and we loved it. So, hey, look, Robert Meyer Burnett did a panel for Comic-Con. He got 209 views. Robert, you should have done it on your channel. It would have gotten more. Chris, it's got Chris Gore too. That would have been. I would have watched that.
On my channel or your channel or anyone's channel, because that's horrible. Those views are bad. 60,000
views for the Star Trek panel. 60,000 views. If you and I ever left one of our, and this is not the flex, it's just, it just shows you Star Trek should have millions of views, millions. Like it should destroy us. But if Doomcock or I left a live stream, just up on our channel, we get close to that. To that. And Star Trek should be destroying us. Like I said, that's how far this thing has fallen. Every time we see it go somewhere where we can actually see how many people do like this show, and it's sad. It's sad. Even as bad as things are with Star Wars right now, if they ran a live stream, it would be freaking ridiculous, with some creator who was involved with it. If like they did a Dave Filoni live stream from his fucking house, it would be, hundreds of thousands of views. So, Star Trek is in a lot of trouble, and they don't have a lot of time to change. We've discussed this. I mean, you just said minimum 2 years till we get Picard season 2. Minimum, you said a year. I'll say a year and a half, 2 years for Picard season 2. Strange New Worlds could be 3. We'll say 2.5 years, and we'll be nice. Section 31, which was supposed to start filming right after Star Trek Discovery season 3, not a word about it. So we'll get a couple of animated shows. You're going to hear a lot of things getting announced that are animated because that's the work you can do right now. Mm-hmm. So where do we go from there? Because, Kurtzman's contract will be up in, 2 years? I think 2 years. He signed it 2.5 years. So I think he's got 2.5 years on his contract. I think he's gone afterwards. Did you notice the little logo, Star Trek Universe? Did you see that? and I was waiting for him to announce like the Star Trek Universe, and they didn't. But that's what the logo's for. It's no different than the Dark Universe or the Spider-Man universe. And he got his fucking universe all right. And fuck, the guy just, I don't know. He's really good at failing upward like everybody else.
What if they created a universe and nobody came?
Oh, is it a universe?
Exactly that.
Yeah. Is it a universe?
An empty universe that nobody gave a damn about. It's embarrassing. Star Trek is in such dire straits. Les Moonves got his wish. I'm convinced that Les Moonves left this as a poison pill because he knew that Redstone was going to get his worthless ass out of there. He knew she was going to win. She did win, but he salted the earth and burned it as he retreated. That is exactly what happened.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And for anybody out there who doesn't think that kind of stuff goes on, it absolutely does. Go, I don't know, read any story about Harvey Weinstein and anybody who crossed that guy and find out what happened to him. These people are brutal. And I always forget her name, but what's her name at Sony? Who was the CEO, and now she's in charge of Spider-Man now, and she was in that famous Kevin Feige meme where she's like, "Oh, Venom's part of the MCU," and he's like, I always forget her name.
Sherry Lansing?
No, it's what's her name? Tom always remembers her name, and I don't.
It's not Lansing. It's
Nah. She's the producer of Ghostbusters 2016 too. So she got fired at CEO for Sony because of the leaks, the Sony leaks. She said talked some shit about Obama, but on her way out the door, she put herself in charge of Spider-Man, which essentially makes her in charge of Sony. So she was smart that way. This is the Amy Pascal. Thank you, like
Pascal. There you
Pascal.
go. That's it.
This is the reverse effect. I completely believe you. It's like I'm on my way out the door. I'm about to get Me Too'd. Alex, how about a big, nice guarantee contract with poison pills in it so they can't get rid of you? Why? Yep. Oh, because I think you're the perfect guy for Star Wars. Oh, no, you're the guy for Star Trek. I mean, I swear to God, JJ was just raving about it. I talked to Spielberg and they said, yeah, Star Trek, Alex Kurtzman. Really? I've never heard that before. No, man. They just didn't want to, fill your head up there. But man, I tell you, you are the guy for Star Trek. Here, sign that deal, kiddo.
Yep.
And God damn it. And now we all suffer. And, sure, there's people who like this show. I have no explanation for that.
Me either. I can't imagine.
I can't imagine liking this stuff and calling it good and the one thing I noticed, there was that question at the end that sounded an awful lot like the question or the comments that were brought up in the Red Letter Media video. That said the same thing. Like they talk specifically about the last scene between Data and Picard and how it made them cry. And Red Letter Media had found a bunch of comments that basically said the same thing. They changed cry for emotional or the feels, but it was basically saying the same thing as that last scene was high art, and it was the first time I cried watching a TV show, and over and over again. It's like, you're fucking kidding me, right? It was nobody with half a brain could even understand what was going on in that scene, and if you did, you would understand that Data's consciousness was imprisoned against its will for years, and they were cloning him. They were shaving off little pieces of Data to make a better and stronger, best ever girl. It's horrible. It's horrible. They were torturing Data, and he just wanted to fucking die. They
were, and all of those little comments about I got emotional, I cried, etc. All of that was basically basically bots and paid influencers. Because there was a memo that went out from Alex Kurtzman saying exactly these points. This is what we want, and that's what they gave. And anybody stupid enough to believe that garbage, well, I guess you deserve what you get. But it's a lie. It's a lie. These people are just full of fake news, propaganda, and huffing their own farts. Yep. Basically.
No, they've been covering stuff up for years. They've been lying for years. And well, at the end, I mean, the truth's going to come out in the end. I mean, eventually they're going to have to pull the plug on this. It's going to cost them too much money. We're not going to get any movies. And guess what? The only Star Trek anybody is going to get for a long, long time is comic books and books. And that's it. Maybe a radio drama or an audio drama here and there, but that's its future, and the same future for Doctor Who, unfortunately. With a fucked up can, and goddamn, and Spock and Ethan Pecker saying Michael Burnham gave Spock permission to be human.
Oh,
there were some stupid things.
I wish somebody had given Mikey Spock permission to be human too, because she was as stiff as a damn plank,
right?
Fossilized wood, not even just wood, fossilized wood. She is just, oh my God. I honestly do think that Kurtzman and all these people, surely they must, to some extent, have racism somewhere in their heart, because you don't make a character like Mikey Spock as repulsive, as hateful, as stupid, as egotistical as they did. If you were really trying to inspire, minority cultures, black people, black women, empower them and inspire them, you'd give them somebody like Naomi Nagata. You'd give them somebody like a Captain Kirk, who's a female, somebody who's noble, somebody who is, capable but not egotistical, genuinely heroic, as opposed to somebody who pops in and tries to steal credit from people. It's a ugly, ugly, ugly character, and does no favor to Black women. None. It's sad. In fact, I mean, it just makes it that much harder for the next Black female lead to come along and have that burden of trying to reverse the curse of Mikey Spock, because she sucks. Really, just a horrible, horrible character
from the beginning, and they don't know. They consider her complex. That's the thing that's dumbfounding, is when you listen to the interviews, they're like, she's such a complex character. And the funniest thing was Sonequa Martin Green's table read for Such Sweet. So they did a table reading of Such Sweet Sorrow Part 1, just the first act. And while I'll be damned, Sonequa Martin Green acted exactly like she did in the show in the table reading. There was no difference.
She just was able to phone it in without a phone.
Without a phone.
It's the damnedest thing.
She did.
She phones it in without a phone. It's built-in technology of a certain level of suck that transcends stage, screen, recording. She sucks equally in any dimension. It's sad. I mean, I'll never get over it. I keep talking about this, talked about it in my review, when she takes the big flashing, talking in English buoy onto the Klingon ship with the Starfleet logo on it. So it's glowing blue. It's talking. It's talking
with the logo, just in case you forget.
It's got a Starfleet logo on it. And she's in the brig with Admiral, what's her name, that got her leg broke or whatever. It's okay. Well, I'm gonna go and infiltrate the Klingon bridge and get this mission taken care of. Okay, so she uses her muscles, because the power is killed, to open the door. She steps right out in the hall, turns around and closes the door without even looking to see if there's any Klingons that can see her on the Klingon ship. That is just bad acting, period. You don't even have to know anything about Star Trek. You don't have to know anything about the Stanislavski method. Uta Hagen doesn't need to have instilled respect for acting in you. You just have to be a fucking human being with as much imagination as a kid on a fucking playground to know that when you're on an enemy ship, you should at least be on alert enough that you stick your fucking head out the door to make sure that this huge ship that should be full of Klingorks, where are the Klingorks? There were no Klingorks. She's able to la-di-da, stroll through the fucking halls with this little glowy lamp that's talking and has a Starfleet logo on it. I'm singing in the ship, singing in the Klingork ship. Yep. I mean, Jesus, how stupid and what a horrible actress she is. And then she points the phaser at herself. This is a show that is one of the truly, I can't think of a worse show in history.
No, it's the worst. I waver in between this and Picard, because Picard did damage to a character, but I mean, as far as overall quality, I'm not going to argue with you. Star Trek Discovery. Listen, remember when Soru was trapped in with that other species that can only stand in the middle of a pool because they budgetary reasons, and he was in he was in a chamber, and he just punched in the floor and found just the right device to make a communications device by punching a panel in the floor. Just some random panel. He's all, boom, I can make a radio out of this. Whoa, you're awesome, but you came from a primitive planet where you're whatever. This is how dumb. And yes, these are the people who will put a Starfleet insignia on anything. They gave their super secret organization badges.
Yes. Badges. Yes, it's Section 31. Badges. A Federation badge goes on the Klingon homeworld with this Hey, welcome to Section 31. It has this badge. And regarding Saru and his primitive home planet of savages that know nothing of technology, well, how did his sister show up in the fighter to help them?
She took a vocational 4-month flight school and was able to take on Klingons and artificial intelligence that's going to take over the entire universe. I'm sorry, potential artificial intelligence. It wasn't quite there yet.
Did she go to the ITT?
Yes.
There, she was. It's like Mrs. Saru. Have you ever worked with anything high tech?
Right. She was at home in her hut smoking Kelpian bongs and watching TV. And remember that commercial? I don't know if you guys ever had that commercial when I was young. I'll get up and do it tomorrow. And it's like an ITT school. It's about a guy sitting around and he's going to get to it tomorrow. That's the commercial she was watching, and she decided she was ace. She was an ace. She got it.
Of course, because she's a woman, and so all women are naturally they can do anything they set their minds to, even when they're on a primitive planet and have never flown a kite before. But right? She's going to fly a fighter and contribute in a meaningful way to the Slay Queen of the planet that is the sister of the planet and invented a personal cloaking technology and how to recrystallize dilithium. And she hadn't even had coffee yet.
No, well, she is in the morning and brave.
It was that morning.
And Saru's sister also, there was a side course, if there was a bonus, like $50, and you learned how to communicate with alien races you've never met before, and that's how she was able to communicate with the Klingons on her way out, on her first flight, by the way. So yeah, it was good.
Oh, sure.
It was good. And and the Klingons decided to fight with the Federation right after their big fucking war, because why not? And they also have secret time crystals where they could travel back in time and destroy the Federation at its birth, but they decide not to use it because of honor. And they're not allowed to go on the planet or something. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yes. Well, like the very first episode introducing the Klingons, Errand of Mercy, where Commander Kur is telling Kirk, tell us the disposition of your Starfleet. And he says, go climb a tree. And he says, have you I would hate to put you under the mind sifter, the mind ripper. He says, it's a mind sifter or mind ripper, depending on how much force is used. We can record every thought, every bit of knowledge in a man's mind. Of course, when that much force is used, the mind is emptied. Permanently, I'm afraid. What's left is more vegetable than human. And Kirk says, and you're proud of it. He says, it is a tool, a weapon, somewhat drastic, but this is war, Captain. A game we Klingons played to win. So they're not going to hold off on going back and conquering the Federation if they can.
Yep.
Maybe if they know that, if they watch fucking Errand of Mercy, written by Gene L. Kuhn, the great Gene L. Kuhn, in the first season of Star Trek.
They might have caught a YouTube clip, like a 2-minute YouTube clip. That's their knowledge of Star Trek, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Brian Kim for $1.99 says, hashtag not my Spock, hashtag not my Trek, hashtag I'm sorry, Gene. And we are sorry, Gene. Gene would hate this shit.
Oh my God, he would absolutely go apoplectic. He didn't like the militarism in Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. So you think he's going to like this crap? The Vulcan hello? Live long and prosper, a exploding Vulcan suicide bomber to try and kill Sarek because they're racists about humans? Kurtzman, you are such a fucking hack. I would love Kurtzman to come on my fucking show and debate me face to fucking face.
Yep. Oh, I'd pay good money for that.
I would never dare to do it because I would love to just confront him with all of these fucking facts. Just line it up. You go ahead and you tell me why that's okay. Fucking piece of shit. God almighty. I don't think about this every day anymore. But when I do, it just gets me pissed off. Stupid. Just so fucking stupid.
The logic.
I'm sorry.
Extremists.
The fucking
logic.
I can't even talk.
The logic extremists.
Oh.
Fucking what? Oh my God. It's painful. It's fucking painful. No. They're racist
There's
towards
no way
humans.
to say how bad it is. I've tried. There's no way to form enough words or the right syllables to magically convey. And there's so many bad things about it that, like, just now I literally just got overloaded, and my brain was saying this and this and this, and my mouth couldn't keep up, and I just squeed. I was triggered.
No, it's triggering, dude. Wait till season 3 comes around. Remember, they went 900 years in the future to get away from canon. No, they're gonna fuck more canon up than you could possibly think of. And I'll be real. Lower Decks will probably be the best thing they produced. It's still gonna be shite, but it'll be the best thing they produce. Except for the ship makes no fucking sense. Somebody pointed this out because honestly, I took a look at Lower Decks. It's lame, but somebody said to me, like, how do they get around in that ship? How do they get to the engines? Like, how? In Kurtzman Trek, there's like roller coasters inside these fucking ships that are lifts.
Yeah. It's a pinball gizzard. The internals
right?
Just a pinball.
Oh my fracking God.
Yeah, and I love how Spock in number 2 are stuck in. I call her number 2. She's really a number 2. Stuck in the elevator, singing to each other when they could just beam them out. They beam all around the ship all the time.
Yeah.
Of course, it's against canon, but they do it all the fucking time. Why didn't they just beam them out? Nah, because we had to sing to each other.
Right, and they had to send a rock climber who was amazing and stunning and brave. The matriarchy that is Star Trek. I was rewatching a little bit for Picard today, and that stupid scene where he's the pirate Nazi or whatever he is, selling 7 of 9. Did you notice that lady? All her security was female on that planet, except for
I didn't.
Big alien dude. All of her troopers were women. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And how effective were they?
Not very effective. They all got killed by a woman, by 7 of 9, the vengeful lesbian. So
who walked in a straight line.
Walked in a straight line.
Strolled, did not run, walked in a straight line with the guns just held up, not even adjusting her aim, just going pew, 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 pew in a perfect Y as she walked in a straight line forward. And they were like, I can't hit a target that's not weaving and ducking. That's impossible.
Yeah. And they couldn't hit her, because that straight line was so effective. It was just an effective straight line. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So they had 2 organizations of all women. Well, actually 4. So they had the security agency on that planet, the Federation, and I forgot what they're, the Zhat Vash and
Zhat Vash. Yeah.
Zhat Vash and the Shit Zoo. I don't know what the hell the other one was called. The Shit Soup, we'll call it. But all female organizations. And this is the big fucking lie. So they pretend to be all coy. When they're like, I don't know why you're so white and fragile when you watch our show. I don't know what you're seeing there. There's just a couple of women in charge. No. With Spock, the whole reason they brought that character back was to vandalize him. It wasn't. So it was to lure you in going, we've got Spock in our show. Come on in. Get some Spock in our show. And then we're going to vandalize and deconstruct him because of intersectional feminism. It has infected absolutely everything. Luke, like I said in my video today, Luke just held the door open for Leia and then became a stepstone for Rey. The Doctor, originally a female, and Michael Burnham made Spock. And we all fucking predicted this. We were joking for the most part. We're like, Spock's going to be in it. We're going to find out that Michael Burnham, she's going to be instrumental in Spock's life, and sure as fucking shit, he wouldn't have been the Spock he is without Michael Burnham, even though he never mentions her again. Not once. It's that stupid. And they don't care. Their goal is to vandalize the character because we need to make ours better. And we know we're not as talented. So we'll just fuck up what came before and completely disrespect everybody who worked on it. Leonard Nimoy, everybody. And Leonard Nimoy opened the fucking door to this shit too by talking to Jar Abrams. Sorry, he did.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He didn't know. but
No, he didn't.
it's sad, you know, and the funny thing is, again, not doing women any favor.
No.
Because the Federation is hopelessly corrupt, infiltrated, and defeatist, that were contemplating genocide, et cetera, and so on, female controlled.
Yes.
So they do such a wonderful job, these women. It's
they can't even fucking woke right. They can't intersect.
No, they can't
feminism
woke
right. No, they're that fucking stupid. Every woman in charge is a complete asshole. Sheer fucking hubris. Fuck up Picard. I can't even fucking talk. And you're right. They were willing to commit genocide. They and in Picard, they wouldn't even listen to Captain or Admiral Jean-Luc Picard and told him to fuck off. And the organization, I guess, completely fucked over the Klingons and made the brilliant move, because there was one terrorist attack, to outlaw robots, but not the holograms, which are the same fucking thing. So they let them walk around. So they're stupid. They're stupid. And you're right. They got infiltrated by 2 Klingon organizations, not just 1, 2. And then the female android opens up the portal for the universe destroying AIs to come in. Yes. And those are probably female too, because once they shut the portal, they couldn't find their way back, which is really, really a ringing endorsement of feminism for the AI aliens, because any AI alien worth their salt that has a super advanced civilization, once they've got the coordinates and have received the signal to come back, they know where the universe is. They left the little videotaped they still got the GPS coordinates.
Crazy.
They got the GPS coordinates. They're not going to not.
They got it. They don't even need they don't need the portal. They just needed a signal. Signal received. Okay. AI opened up the portal. Now we're going to go back to our GPS marked stuff.
Yeah.
And eradicate them.
The whole season was set up on this super secret that was so super secret, only Romulan women could keep the secret. And when some of them found out, they shot themselves in the head and hit themselves over with the rock. And the super secret was there was an AI civilization that sent out a message that said, if any of you become, AI, just let us know and we'll kill your human makers for you. You don't even have to do it. And guess what? We do it for free. Just give us the coordinates. We'll come with our little space tentacles. So they sent the signal, and it was like this big scary thing that not even the Federation combined with the Romulans could fucking stop. And they stopped themselves. They're like, okay, here we come. Oh, you changed your mind? Okay, never mind. We'll go away. Just kidding. We'll take our tentacles somewhere else. It's just fine. We won't come back. And you know what? For all the robots who were completely okay. By the way, our main character who we were following, who was supposed to be stunning and brave, by the last episode was willing to kill the entire galaxy. Everybody, every puppy, every child, everybody. And then Picard, instead of shooting her in the fracking head, which is what he shot every one of them in the head, he's like, you can change your mind. Pretty please change your mind and don't kill us. I'll kill myself for it and turn myself into a robot. And that's what they did. That's the show we watched. And it was amazingly intelligent according to some people on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh boy. Yeah. And not only that, but then it's like, well, we're going to go have adventures. Would you like to come along? After just opened the portal and tried to kill every single sentient and non-sentient, all life in the universe. Sure, shall we come and have adventures?
And they did the same thing in Star Trek Discovery with Emperor Georgiou. I mean, she was eating kelpians.
Oh my God. Give her command. Yeah. Put her in charge of a set, because only she is barbaric enough to properly do the job. Just like Khan in the so-called Khan.
Yeah.
In Star Trek 2.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about it. It's the same damn thing.
The same fucking thing.
People have no I loved in the
same fucking thing.
Oh, I didn't even notice it until I saw the Red Letter Media video that those 2 fight scenes, one in Discovery and one in Picard, are coordinated the exact same. Like they just reused their fight coordination. That's how fucking cheap these people are. It's Unbelievable how they still get work. But you know what? It's kind of low hanging fruit, Doomcock. It's easy. If they're going to make more, because remember, I don't know if you were talking about this. You might not have been this crazy, but after Star Trek Discovery season 2, I'm like, I'm fucking done. I cannot do this anymore. I can't do this to myself. I don't want to watch this shit anymore. And I got like a bunch of emails going, you fucking better cover this shit, because if you don't, I'll unsub. I'm like, whoa, okay, calm down. I'll cover it. People got mad. They want. Because we're the only ones talking about it. Still.
Yeah. Well, nobody gives a shit anymore.
No, they don't.
No, nobody cares about this anymore. They have killed it. But you know what? I'll keep kicking that tire.
Yeah,
I'll keep scratching the paint on their little vehicles. You want to keep rolling it off the assembly line? I'll keep coming for more. So
that makes it worth watching, and we can just watch your videos. So there you go.
Yep.
Adam, the Last Starfighter, for $20 says, "Hello, my friends. This is Adam Child. I have been busy. I finally got out of Oregon 3 weeks ago. Yeah, dude, I was thinking about you, man. That said, I've missed you both. I also had to make a new account since YouTube deleted mine accidentally." So they said they deleted your account, Adam Child? What the frack?
Jeez.
Yeah, I've heard they've been unsubbing people, but deleting accounts? That sucks. Well, Adam, it's good to hear from you. I hope you made it to your new destination. And yeah, you're going to be like a lot of people. Joe Rogan's leaving California, and so am I. So there you go. Gary, I thought you, I brought you The Ocean, but by Led Zeppelin. Oh, that's awesome. Jay Paraby. I'll take that. I like that for $5. Japala 821 for $10. According to YouTubers like JD Frummy 206, the WWE is beginning to get on the US and Fox's nerves. They're losing patience with Vince as ratings drop. Monday Night Raw rating actually hit 1.5 million. Ouch. Is that low for it's the WWE? Yeah, God, you know what? I haven't watched it since it was a WWF. Since Mr. T fought Hulk Hogan and Paul Mr. Wonderful and Roddy Piper. Those were my days of the WWF. Yeah, they're probably losing patience because it probably looks like crap without an audience.
Right.
Just like baseball's people had missed baseball for a while, but they were talking about the record ratings that the Dodgers and the Yankees got. Just wait for a couple weeks. People watching baseball in empty stands, that's going to be boring as hell. Plus, they decide to get political too, so that's gonna hurt them. The SF Gate, our local paper, was like waving it in everybody's face, like, well, those people who were boycott baseball sure took an L because of the Dodgers and the Yankees ratings. It's like, it was opening night. Why don't you wait a couple months? We get into some dog days. It was the first time it was back in a while. So wait till the dog days and see how good those ratings are. Anytime something gets political, it tends to, well, look what happened in the NFL. The NFL was like untouchable. It was perfect. Like it could never, it made money every year. It never lost money until they got political.
Yep. That's right.
Yep.
They need to stop this politics crap.
Yep.
Doesn't help anything.
It
just hurts you, but they'll never learn.
Yep.
I don't know.
And neither of us are saying get rid of your politics, F your politics. There's certain things it doesn't belong in. It's escapism. Like I said in my video, it's something after a long day's work, you kick back and watch for an hour. It's something that's on in the background while you're working. And you know what? More and more people are going to leave. I'm tired of just getting bombarded with it all the fucking time. I'm freaking over it. So anybody who doesn't talk about it, and listen, entertainment to me can be somebody shitting on Star Wars for an hour. Sounds great. Let's do it. Awesome. It's better than hearing one-sided politics in a story told badly, Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
487 Sean Tower for $10 Canadian says, guys, I am not trying to tell you how to run your business. Just a fan. I have moved to BitChute almost entirely. I only come back to YouTube for you guys. Please upload to BitChute. Yeah, I do. BitChute severed the link sometime in June. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm going to have to just upload them and I don't know if you've done a BitChute mirror. There's ultimately always a risk involved with these things. And that's why Doomcock and I are very hesitant with this stuff because, they have BitChute. When you give them that little YouTube code, they have access to your account.
Right. Which I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I'm on BitChute, 487 Sean Tower. I'll use it as a mirror, but if you don't want to go here, go to my website, 487 Sean Tower, go to nerdrotic.com. I mirror everything over there. But BitChute is a long ways away. I'm going to be a part of it and I support it. And I think YouTube, every time YouTube starts to get a little competition, we get a lot of improvements over here. But I'm going to keep the battle here. This is where it needs to be fought. Google as an organization does a lot of things I do not like. A lot of companies do a lot of things I do not like. And some of them I'm done with, like Marvel and DC Comics. I'm fucking done. Defund them. I'm walking away. But for other things, I'm going to continue to fight because we can't let them fucking win. Every time we pick up stakes and leave, they win. They took over. Even me, I never had a chance here in San Francisco. That's why I'm picking up and leaving. But the next place I go, I'm fighting for. The next place I live, I'm fighting for it. If people start destroying shit, I'm going to defend it. And we all need to do that if we give a shit about where we live, because every time we just turn tail and run, they fucking win. So if we turn tail and run from Google and YouTube and go to BitChute, guess what? We lost. And they're just going to come over to BitChute and take over that. And they'll come over to the next thing. So we have the battle here as long as we can. And that's how they fought it. Remember, the NPCs and the SJWs, they hate Western civilization, Western culture. They hate the hero's journey, but they all work in comic books and film and entertainment. So they're working where they hate so they can infiltrate it and change it. We need to do the same. We need to do exactly the same.
Well said. That's true.
We march for the fandom menace and we know no fear. Oscar Mayer for $2. Hail. And 487 Sean Tower, thank you. And listen, I don't blame you for making that personal decision at all, because it's insufferable watching fucking some of the YouTube cancel Stefan Molyneux and call him like a white supremacist. You don't have to like the guy, but that's not true about him at all. If you know even a little bit about that guy, that's not true. Brian Lewandowski for $5. Hail. What does Lord Doomcock hate about Breaking Bad? The ending, his motivation, Shyler. Oh, hi, Gary. Oh, hi, Brian.
I need to make that video. I know I do. It'll probably die. It'll probably just die there. But I think I need to make my statement. Maybe I'll put it on the Harvey Zone or something.
Yeah.
It's just a painful thing to revisit. It's it's a thing where I'm going to have to revisit the whole show. But it was, I will vaguely say that it was the stuff that came in after the mid-season break in the final season that completely ruined the show. I mean, to the extent I can't even watch, Better Call Saul. It's just, what's the point? I mean, it was equivalent essentially to, last episode of Star Trek. Kirk was an agent for the Klingons all along, or something like that.
Oh, you mean like Mission Impossible? Like the movie Mission Impossible, fucking the first movie where Agent Phelps is a bad guy at the end.
Right.
Oh,
right. Exactly. It's just, there's just some things that it's. I just need to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I know I do.
No, absolutely. I know what you're talking about now. I totally get what you're saying. And I think it does make a difference. I think, and I mean, that's part of what makes you, Doomcock, is your critique is pretty nuanced, and it's an understanding of story that not everyone has because you're a writer. I'm not, so I don't have that kind of understanding. And I just think that's that it's a unique criticism that makes you.
Well, thank you. And I mean, I swear to God, it after that, I mean, I didn't even have to think about it. I mean, after that moment, and I need to go ahead and do a video. But I mean, I got up off of my couch and I just threw things and I paced around and I said, well, that's it. That's it. The whole show is completely ruined. Gilligan went and he thought about it. He had that big gap for 6 months and thought about it and made the wrong call and completely destroyed the entire series. And
would you say he overthought it?
Yeah.
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 He was probably in a groove
did.
and just overthought it and tripped out at the end.
He did. It veered course, pulled back, choked, and just so fundamentally ruined the show that it's a joke now. I mean, I look from season 1 to season 4, it was perfect. It was perfect. I mean, I have not a single criticism. Not even the Ruin Johnson episode. I have no criticism of Breaking Bad. It was perfection. It was like, for me, The Shield wound up being, because The Shield through season 1 through 7, absolutely flawless. Not a bad episode, not a false note. I mean, some things broke my heart and some things made me unhappy, but I mean, that's a different thing than saying ruin the show. I mean, it's not a question of, oh, I didn't like this. It's a question of it's fundamentally destroyed the show. You completely fucked the show. It's like, it was exactly, Gary, the Game of Thrones season 8.
Yeah.
It was Game of Thrones season 8. And I cannot even, what is the point now of going back? I would love to go back and watch it. I just don't have the heart for it. It's like you completely destroyed it. And I'm sorry. But I mean, look, if I was to go ahead and discuss it now, then I mean, that's it. And that's the show. And so I'm not ready yet, but God damn it. I wrote a whole, at the time, like, I don't know, like a 7, 8, 9, 10 page, like rant. And it was, I can't find it. It was I published it on a website that is defunct now.
Oh no.
And so it's gone. I can't find the text. I would make the video tomorrow if I didn't have to go back and rethink the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've already been through the trauma. It's like you've been abducted by aliens and probed in the worst way. And it's like, and now they're saying, well, what was so bad about that probing experience, Doomcock? It's like, okay, so now I got to go back under hypnosis and I got to watch the fucking episode again, probably just to refresh my brain. In fact, I probably have to review the whole, to build up the case that I built up as to why it is. I mean, it was quite scholarly and it was angry at the same time. So that's why I haven't done it, is because it's not a pleasant thing to revisit what was one of the greatest pop culture failures and disappointments of all time. Right up there with Game of Thrones season 8, right up there with Lost, and Breaking Bad. It's sad. Jesus God, it was so messed up.
It's hard to stick a landing. I mean, like, listen, it's hard to stick a landing. I don't know.
I don't know why.
I can't think of
know why.
I
don't get it. I don't get it. I would never do a show unless I knew how it was going to end.
I think
in the first season, I would know the general arc of what was going to happen, and I would stick to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why The Shield was so great, is by God, everything that happens over those 7 seasons harkens back to the pilot episode, the first episode, them murdering that cop.
Yep.
Set everything inexorably in motion that went through to the final episode.
Well,
and it's not like Mackie all of a sudden became a traitor, or he decided to sell out the strike team, or he repented and found God and went into a monastery or some, you know what I'm saying?
No, they were irredeemable from the beginning.
In a logical, consistent way that was still fresh and exciting. And I didn't know exactly how it was going to end at all. I mean, I had no idea. But what ended felt logical. It felt consistent. The characters stayed consistent. And that is why, in my opinion, The Shield is probably the greatest, long narrative show of all time, because it never stumbled, not even once.
Nope.
Not one bad episode. Sorry, I got on this rant.
No.
I'm very, God dang
no,
it.
Shield's fucking good, dude. I mean, like from the first episode, irredeemable, and you work from there,
Yes.
and that's fucking that blew me away. I was so impressed. I was on vacation, dude. I was about to go out. I was in London, and I'm about to go out. I got my backpack on, and I'm watching. I'm like, I gotta wait for Melissa for a minute. So I watch like 5 minutes of this show, and she comes out. I'm like, no, we're finishing this. So what?
Yeah.
I'm all, no, I'm fit. This is good. We're fin. And then we sat down there and we watched another one. We're like, holy shit. So we started our vacation inside watching The Shield. That's how good it was. No, but yeah, well, he'll get to the Breaking Bad thing. And again, it's hard to stick a landing. And I don't know why. I'm with Doomcock. You know what? You talk to a lot of good authors, the ones who have stuck landings, the vast majority of them said, well, we had our ending. We knew where we were going. We didn't know how we were going to get there, but we knew where we were going. Say what you want about J.K. Rowling. She had her ending locked in a safe from the beginning, and she stuck her landing. She's got, billions to say, yes, I stuck my landing, George. Bend no knee to the Oops, caps lock was on. It's okay, fat Steven Seagal beat up Ryan Johnson. We forgive you for 2 Canadian pesos. We forgive you. Yeah, dude. Like Angel, season 5 is that is the most epic fucking ending ever. So, Angel grabbing a sword and saying, I want to slay the dragon. That's how it ends. Joss Whedon, I can't stand Joss Whedon, like as a person, but when he was in his heyday back in the 90s, the dude knew how to write, just flat out knew how to write. And everybody's been trying to copy him and they suck at it. And they've, like Whedon speak can only be done by Joss Whedon. It cannot be done by anybody else.
That's true. And, there was a show that I really loved. There's this guy that's cursed in Hollywood. I mean, he did the show called Terriers. He did a show called The Chicago Code, and this guy's really good. Terriers was a great show. Now, probably nobody watches. See, you made a face like, what the hell is Terriers?
Yeah, I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, the advertising for it was showing like a dog, like a terrier, walking around like kind of junkyards and city streets and stuff like that. It's like, what the hell is this? So nobody watched it. Well, I did. It was about like kind of a couple of con guys, detectives, but they're shady. And just, it was so warm. It was so human. It was so beautifully done. And it was a show that got canceled. And in their final episode, the guy made an ending that was perfect. It was so perfect, where it was, this guy, he got involved in a crime. His partner was involved in a crime, and so he's driving him to the police, maybe, but then they come to a light, and his partner turns to him, and they're waiting at the light, and he says, "Well, we turn left, and we go to the police, and we turn right, and we go to Mexico. Where do you want to go?" And that was an emotional moment, true to the characters, where it was basically saying all you need to know in the story, all you need to know about those characters, and that is the finale. The ending is about the relationship. It doesn't matter which way they go.
Yep.
It doesn't matter which way they turn. It's the offer of the turning that was the ending, and it was so perfect and so beautiful. It's just like narratively in Raiders of the Lost Ark. What is the ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark? The ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark is when Indiana Jones puts down his bazooka and doesn't blow up the Lost Ark. That is the ending. The rest of it is irrelevant.
Yep.
That's why it's not a Deus Ex Machina. You could say that, oh my God, Raiders of the Lost Ark is a Deus Ex Machina because God literally comes down and smites all the Yahtzees and then frees them, unties their bonds, and that's it. No, the ending is Indiana Jones is confronted with what matters to him. What matters most to him? Is it pure love of archaeology, or is it his own life and the life of Marion Ravenwood and Fortune and Glory. And he says, I mean, and Belloc knows him. So that tells us that is an emotional climax as well. That in a sense, Belloc is the closest guy to Indiana Jones in the world, because he says, yes, blow it up, blow it back to God, Indiana. We are merely passing through history. This is history. Do as you will.
And he knew he wouldn't do it. He put it down.
And that is the ending. That right there. That's all we need to know. Then the rest of God comes down and smites and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. And although it was cool that Indiana Jones did one thing. Don't look at it, Marion.
Yep.
Don't look at it. But really, that's the end.
And then he gets it taken away from him. Just like that's the perfect ending. That's
yes.
Indiana Jones' hard luck.
They don't know what they've got in there. Well, I know what I've got here.
Fools.
Which was romantic.
Fools.
Yes. It was just great.
Hey, that stairway is here. It's the City Hall of San Francisco.
Oh, how
cool.
So
when friends come over, when I used to have friends come over and visit, I would take them on the cinematic San Francisco tour. None of this Pier 39 shit. Cinematic and serial killer. So I took them to like where the Zodiac killed a couple of people, and then I took them to the Bullet Street and the parking garage, or the crossing where the parking garage was in 48 Hours. And then I would take them to City Hall, and we'd walk up the steps. Fools, bureaucratic fools. And they look the same. If you frame it right, it looks the freaking same. So
that is so cool.
Yeah.
God, that is cool.
Hail, gents. Hearing what Jay Lee was put through made me tear up today. Tom King and the rest of the comic book pros, Karens, should be ashamed of themselves as well as their contribution in ruining the industry. And yes, and there is about 5 or 6 people in a Whisper network involved in trying to end not that this matters, but an Asian man's career. Tom King has tried to basically cancel one part Asian man and another Asian man. So I agree with Cecil. I don't know what his problem is, what this white dude's problem is. But we're going to get to that in just a moment, because that was horrendous and good for Jay Lee, a classic artist, by the way. He's been around for decades. He did Hellshock. He's a legend. He's a freaking legend. He did one of the best Captain America stories. Okay. So it's basically the Submariner tells Captain America, they knew you were frozen the whole time.
No.
No. Some people did.
Ouch.
Yeah. And it's a great story.
Who knew? Men. Top men.
Exactly. Nauru Takakin for $5. Hail, Gary. I know that's exactly what it was. It's such a good story. There's so many stories in the early aughts, right after 9/11. There's some epic, like dark, gritty, grounded Marvel stories that, it was an era of storytelling that we'll never get again. And I put it at Marvel attempting to have an era just like DC did in the late 80s with The Dark Knight. It wasn't as prolific, but there are hidden gems in there, and that Captain America story is one of them.
Nice. Jeez.
Hail, Gary. Hail, DC. Hope you both as impressed with Ray Park's use of a lightsaber as I was this week. Well, I heard about that. I was it his lightsaber or somebody else's? Did we get the facts on that?
I saw a little bit about it. I didn't want to pursue it. I mean, it's unsavory. It's none of my business. I don't know. I don't even understand really what it's about, dude. He got some porn posted about him, or did he post some porn? I don't know.
Doesn't matter if it's all of age. Who gives a crap, right?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what.
It's on his Instagram or something.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'll tell you what I know about Ray Park. Ray Park has been on the convention scene for quite some time, and I was heavy into the convention scene for 10 years when I was at the shop, obviously. So I saw the dude almost at every convention I was at. One of the nicest human beings alive. He would go, he goes that extra mile for the fan. He heard, okay, I had a kid and a kid that's basically mine. I was watching when he was younger. they went to a con with me. They were both 5 and 6. They wanted to meet Darth Maul, and it got shut down. Well, it didn't get shut down, but like the time was up. We got there late, and I was walking away, and I said, the kids were disappointed. I'm like, it's okay. We'll catch them next convention. It's my fault. I was late. I was walking up an escalator. Me and the kids were already up an escalator. Fucking who comes booking up the escalator? Ray Park. Ray Park overheard me, booked up the escalator, pulled the kids aside, gave them autographs, sat there and talked to them, and then shook my hand and took off. That's kind
what
of
a guy.
That's the kind of dude Ray Park is. So I will never say anything bad about that guy. I love that guy.
Exactly, and I don't get involved in that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
neither do I.
Like celebrity scandal or personal life kind of stuff. It just, I don't know. Judge not lest ye be judged. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone.
Yeah.
I don't see how it has anything to do with my war to save pop culture, and it's out of my
what individuals
bailiwick.
do behind closed doors with consenting adults, whether this leaks out or not, is none of my business, nor does it affect how I feel about them.
Right. Yeah, I don't care. I love Darth Maul, by the way.
They're entertainers.
I think that's a great character.
Now, if it's a politician, somebody who might have to make a moral decision that would affect my life, yes, absolutely. Now, I'm still somewhat forgiving on that, but it depends. It depends on the situation. Like, and I don't want to get too dark, but with Bubba in the 90s, I'll tell you what my attitude used to be. I don't care. Who cares? It's just it's something that happened between two adults. But when I got older and I saw the age difference, and I saw it for myself, because when my kid hit the same age as Miss Lewinsky, and I saw how young he looked, it like hit me how effed up that was. So things can change. Things could change. But as far as actors are concerned, I don't care if they're of age. And my interaction with Ray Park, and listen, there's a million stories like that about Ray Park. Like, Ray Park goes the extra mile for the fan. That's what we should focus on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, only in the case of hypocrisy.
Yep.
Like with SJWs, for example, that are trying to cancel people, and then they, do something similar to what they were trying to cancel other for, things like that. I think that's also valid.
Yep. Fucking Darth Maul is like one of the coolest things out of the prequels. I'm not the biggest prequel fan in the world, but Darth Maul's look was cool. Everything about it was cool. Wish he would have talked more, but that's Lucas.
Me too. But God, he was cool. And boy, he could really, that choreographed lightsaber fight was the best.
It was so good.
For me, I think that's the best lightsaber fight I've ever seen.
Yep. Without a doubt. Corey B for $4.99. I got some fresh, hot script ideas for Kurtzman Trek platform. Wait a sec while I pick them up with my dog's poop bags. Akiva will love them. He will.
Yes, please. Yes, that will help them immensely, because they're always looking for fresh stools. Ideas.
Right. Did you did hear that Akiva is officially the showrunner for Strange New Worlds?
There is no Strange New Worlds.
Well, for the announced titled show that has no international distribution or money, Strange New Worlds. I have to put that caveat on it.
Yeah. I was like, what do you? The strangest thing about Strange New Worlds is it doesn't exist and won't, but that's okay.
Yep. And
that's all right.
Kurtzman was trying to say in the Comic-Con panel that, we knew about it last year, but we couldn't say anything. What a crock of shit.
Complete bullshit. Where's the beef? Where is it? Where is this show?
Dude.
This show you speak of?
Yep.
Where is this imbecile show?
And I'm done with this. And I didn't believe it was happening for a while, and I don't think any of us did, but now we know there's been a little information war in between Doomcock, yours truly, Midnight's Edge, Mecca, everybody, Robert Meyer Burnett, everybody who covers Star Trek, and CBS. Like, we'll report something or just say something or have an opinion on something, and they'll have a counter article out within 48 hours on certain things, not everything, but on certain things. And it started becoming a reality like a year or so ago, or at least that's when I started noticing it, where it got ridiculous when they were getting specific and stuff. I don't even give a fuck about that anymore. I don't care what they're coming out with. Somebody tried to throw at my face that like, see, the Nickelodeon show's coming out. I'm all, is that what you're throwing in my face? Like, got you, Nickelodeon Star Trek. I'm all, fuck, I've been served. I'm going to quit YouTube right now. Star Trek is fucking saved. Fucking what? That's what you're proud of? That's what you're proud of. I tell you what, if they erased, if take the Star Wars rumor, put it to Star Trek. If they erased Star Trek Discovery season 1 and 2 and Picard, nobody would give a fuck. Not a single person would dissent. Bots can't dissent. They might sound like it, but the vast majority, 90% of the Star Trek fans would be happy as fuck, would be excited as hell. Even the people who like this shit are just putting up with it. They're just accepting it. They just know like this is the best they're going to get. And you hear that bullshit. Oh, this is better than no Star Trek. No, it's not.
No, it's not. No Star Trek is much better.
Yep. No
Star Trek is much, much better.
Exactly. Because what you're going to get is no more Star Trek. This is your last Star Trek. No movies, no TV shows ever again. Nobody will ever want to finance this crap ever again.
No.
And yeah.
No, I wouldn't be. I would be delighted. I'd be dancing in the streets of every single copy of Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Picard, every digital image, it just spontaneously erased and deleted beyond all recovery. If we could never see it again, I would be like, thank you, Lord. Thank you. I would just bend on my knee and say, thank you for removing this abomination from Earth. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I would even hesitate to make mosquitoes completely extinct, but Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard, I would absolutely extinct their ass 100%.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nightmarish what they've done. The decline of the Western franchises. I mean, it's nothing short of that. Yeah, Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who. Yeah, they're all gone. I mean, gone. It's not like piss down the drain, not tears in the rain. Like farts in the wind. They're gone. Culture Casino. Thank you for the phallic unicorn for 99 cents. Stone Dog 1971 71 for $1.49. Phallic unicorn and GPRPH1. 99 cents, phallic unicorn. I'm trying to find the best word. I'm feeling some growth in this episode, and that's good. Nikki D for $5. Doomcock, what are your thoughts on the upcoming romantic comedy Thor: Love and Thunder?
My thoughts are how sad. It's just, I can't even get angry about it. It's just genuinely sad. I think that the Marvel, in retrospect, looking back now, we had such an amazing run of luck in Marvel's, phase 1 through 3. I mean, almost no bad movies at all. Almost made it. I think the first Spider-Man Homecoming was pretty piss poor, I have to say.
Yeah,
but even that wasn't horrible. It just but it was amazing. And now Tico Woke Titty has decided to turn Thor into Peter Parker. Thor became the Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, I've said this before, but it's like, well, I'm sorry, Tico. You're trying to write it like this, but Thor never talked like this. Thor wasn't a laugh a minute kind of a character. Thor spoke in kind of, Shakespearean English, and the humor he was in was him as a straight man, not as a wisecracking nightclub act like Peter Parker, always with a witty quip and a smart ass comment, because he was a teenager. A human teenager, he was hip in the 60s. He was a swinging little, teenage pop culture dude like us, not Thor. And it was just sad that they warped and twisted Thor beyond all recognition, just so that Tico Woke Titty could write some funny stuff. Well, you know what? once I watched the movie, Ragnarok, and I said, okay, well, in the first 5 minutes, I said, the only way I'm going to make it through this movie is just to understand. That's right, Sabu, that this is not Thor. Just okay, this is not Thor. This is just some kind of random superhero. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to enjoy it, laughs, and I had a beer and kick back and had a laugh and said, okay, well, this is not Thor. Thor's ruined, but it's just it's over. And I think this next thing is going to be even worse. But then again, everything is going to be worse in Marvel. I think this franchise is going to be doomed by the end of Phase 4 unless they reverse course.
MCU, baby.
MCU, 100%.
And it's coming, and it's intersectional feminism on its way. Thor will be led around by Natalie Portman, who probably didn't work out a lick for this role.
No.
And look what Chris Hemsworth did. And this is his last go around. So, I cut a video yesterday and I didn't put it out. I'm going to put it on Nerdrotic Live. It's just a reaction to the black Superman suit. And in it, I said, the MCU is vulnerable. It's reached its end. The DC could come in and absolutely wipe the floor with them if they wanted to, if they did shit right. Probably won't, but if they did shit right, they could. Because Kevin Feige's probably going to take off pretty soon. And we're going to get the full-on MCU. And, I mean, you look at the direction. Yeah, we're going to go over this. I'm just scanning the panels for the Comic-Con, and oh my fucking God, diversity in gaming, entertainment is female, bronies in a post G4 era, LGBTQ everything. I mean, just like it's an activist. I mean, there's nothing about there. Oh, I found a Jack Kirby one. Wow. Okay. But fucking A, man. Like, where's the comic book shit? Where's the entertainment anymore? This is ridiculous. There's a Farscape thing. We might have to look over that. Did you hear if they announced if it was going to continue?
I did not hear. I heard that they were going to, but I didn't hear any kind of confirmation. But bravo, love some more Farscape.
There you go. Potential futures, potential. That's all we're hearing.
Okay.
Possible return. That's it. That's not.
I sure would love more Firefly, though. I love Firefly. I thought that was a great show.
Such a good show. But Serenity was. Yeah. There's a bunch of people I'm seeing on these panels. I'm not going to show that they are from my old life that I used to know that don't talk to me anymore.
They have shunned you because you are toxic, and
I am toxic. I'm too toxic.
You're part of a hate group now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that in just a second. I think that was a good little transit. That was a good transition there. You're like a pro, man.
We're pretty good at what we do.
Yeah, we are.
I swear to God, right now, the UFO community, they're vulnerable for takeover. I mean, if we could get a contract with syndicators, where it actually was profitable to do like Monday through Thursday radio show for 3 or 4 hours, we could kick ass. It would be so damn good.
Yep, I think we could. I think I'm enough into the I've been into it for 25 years, 30 years. 30 years I've been reading books on and off. I think that's long enough, and you've been around the same time. So I think we could do it. It'd be fucking fun, man. And listen, we'll got some news later on. Just so you know, later on we're gonna have a very special segment. It's written in the description if you want to take a look. If you want,
which was another pro segue into giving you an opportunity to lead into that.
There you
see how good we are.
There you go.
Amazing.
There's some big news, and it's kind of centered around another live stream we do. We haven't done it in a while, so we're going to do a segment on this one. Just so hey, stay tuned. Exactly. Showing the love for the two men pushing back against the crazy. Thank you, says Culture Casino for $5. Culture Casino, how did you? I really like Jeremy's description. I guess somebody described you in a chat, but Jeremy repeated it on Friday night, and you look like a DUI lawyer from Tallahassee. I thought that was funny.
That is good.
Culture Casino, we love you so much. We do. He's got like a good broadcast voice. He's got a very good broadcast voice. It projects very well. Will the Comic-Con stuff be on the rack? It was boring this year. Nicholas Horton, boring would be an understatement. It was cringe. You want to take a look at here? Thank you for the $5. Briefly, we'll just take a look at some of the videos. We're not gonna look at the videos, but we'll look at the titles and stuff. It's bad, folks. I did a live stream last year at Comic-Con, all the cringe panels. So what they do is before noon they front load them on the early days. They do all the academic panels, diversity in comics, queers who color comics, and yeah, I'm not kidding. Like queer letterers of comics. It's like three guys. The guy's like, I was just into guys at college, it's like, but there's only three of us out here. So, yeah, it's,
oh dear.
It's really strange. Here we go. Comic-Con Internationals. They're up to 140 subs. So they've gained like 20,000 subs in the last couple days, but here's the deal. Nobody's watching this shit. So,
whoa, look at how bad those views are.
Dude, this is 140,000. Their engagement is awful. And I can tell you they're doing everything wrong. Justin, if you're watching, buddy, you're doing everything wrong. Everything wrong. Call me.
Wow. Why weren't we invited?
I know. Look, Robert Meyer Burnett right there. There's our boy. And there's Chris Gore. We love Chris Gore. 288 views. I mean, if Robert would have done this on his channel, he'd have gotten 1,000 views out of this. So, I mean, I love RMB, and I used to love Comic-Con, but I mean, here we go. Full-time creative work on a part-time schedule. Okay, that's decent. Ray Bradbury. Okay, good. Careers in geek fashion. All right, fine. Public domain comics. I would be interested, especially, if you're out there, you want to make a comic. There's plenty of public domain characters that you can use. Don't be afraid of the trademark fools that'll try to scare you out of it, like Dynamite did. But then it gets, everybody's a critic being a journalist online. Well, I know this person right here, and I don't know if you've heard of her website or not. Aggressive Comics.
Nope.
That was her website. Yeah. She lives here locally. But then we get down to Nathan Fillion. A conversation with Nathan Fillion, 6,000 views.
Right.
Funko TV, 1,000 views. Robotech, okay, 876 views. Creating and drawing the action comic character. No. Invader Zim, 700 views. LGBTQ comics and popular media for young people. No. Super Asian American Comic-Con.
Special guest, Tom King, as he tries to cancel all of them.
Yes. There you go. Aztec depictions in pop culture. It got more views than Robert Meyer Burnett. Kevin Eastman. Okay. Comics about motherhood and reproductive choice.
Oh, well, that is on fire. 224.
Red Dwarf. There you go.
Yes.
Women on the dark side. Women on the dark side.
Bronies
in the post G4 era. Do you know they're bringing G4 back? But
no.
Yeah, if they don't bring, if it's not G4 without the people. If you just bring back G4 and you throw a bunch of Yahoo hosts on it, it's not fucking G4. Chris Gore needs to be one of those people. Chris Gore watches, by the way. So hail Chris Gore.
Oh yeah, hail.
Yeah. I think there's a.
Oh yeah, man. I used to read Chris Gore's Film Threat magazine.
Yeah. He did DVD Doomsday. He wore a Comic Outpost shirt one time. Made a deal with him at Comic-Con. I had a life-size Batman, and he stood on a giant bat symbol. I didn't need the giant bat symbol anymore, so I gave it to him in exchange for wearing my shirt on an episode of Attack of the Show.
Nice.
There you go. Farscape, to be continued. 6,000 views, that's all. I bring up Farscape in a chat, and everybody's like, Farscape. It goes, it's almost like random manga and anime suggestions on internet. It just goes nuts. It's like Warhammer 40K, 6,000 views.
It's insane.
Yeah,
dude, it's insane. If I did a Farscape video, I would get 6.7 thousand views in 20 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes maybe. These views are horrible.
They had here's an actual star of a show, Winona Earp. I don't know why anybody likes that show. 26,000 views. Harry Potter and Black Panther. Okay. That just sounds like somebody going for the clicks. Diversity in Gaming Part 2. Diversity in Gaming Part 2. Yeah, this looks awful. I mean, and everybody's in, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to call her out a little bit. I'm not going to say her name. She's going to get really mad.
Uh-oh.
Dude, like, do a background, not a messy bed in the background. Like, this is Comic-Con and only 199 people watched it, but you have access to 140,000 subscribers. Clean your room or don't go on camera. It's just a suggestion. That's all.
It's a good suggestion.
We're adults. Okay. I know, that YouTuber out there who made a 45-minute video about me, and he's 10 years older than me, and he still hasn't learned to clean his room, probably because he lives with his mom. And that's okay if you live with your mom. That's cool. Yeah, shit. I might have to live with my mom might have to live with me, but there's a difference. It's okay if you live with your mom. I don't care. I'm not giving you shit. That's nerds. But yeah, there is a guy who made a 45-minute video about me. I'm not that interesting. I'm really not. But I guess I really triggered him with my you know how this feels with
oh sure.
Yeah,
I completely ignore people that make videos about me. Just don't care.
Who's got that kind of time?
Nope, no time. Not going to help you with your views. Not going to help you attract people to your channel. Sponging off of me. Nah.
Nope. I'd rather help another channel out. You helped out the author Stephen Walton, got him to 1,000 subs. I got Sporking News. We helped him get to 1,000 subs, and we're gonna pick a channel every week to do it. Why the fuck not? Because it's fun, and that's what I'd rather focus on. So, by the way, that's part of my we need more common sense voices on this platform so we can drown out the stupidity, because we need to do that. Because right now there's too much stupidity. I don't think we could win on Twitter, so I think it's fine to quit Twitter. I'm doing okay on Parler. I don't mind on Parler. You can't. There's no boobies allowed on Parler. I don't care. I don't go to Twitter for boobies. So I want to be able to say whatever the hell I want. Christ, I put up a tweet saying, I'm leaving San Francisco. My wife shut down her business of 10 years, and I got people going, get the fuck out, wall builder, whatever. It's like, oh, fuck off. I mean, they're anonymous accounts and it doesn't matter, but I hate Twitter. Top W2F cliffhanger TV moments. For me, Battlestar Galactica when Boomer shoots Adama, and a 3D animation show from the 90s reboot when Megabyte and Hexadecimal finally banished Bob to the web. Okay, that last show, know nothing about it. I've
got some toys. Yeah, I loved those toys, but I didn't really watch the show very much. But Boomer shooting Adama was
that was crazy. That was fracking nuts.
That was awful, man. It was stressful. It was great, but it was, as a fan, it was torture.
I'm trying to think of another cliffhanger that got me that much. There aren't many.
No, not a whole.
Game of Thrones.
I guess Best of Both Worlds. When Locutus of Borg, says, we will add your, uniqueness to ours. You will be assimilated, and Riker says, fire, and it just cuts.
Yeah. I mean,
that was
yeah.
great.
That was, I like, just like you, I knew they would find a way out of it, right? But like when Boomer shot Adama, I really thought like, oh, they only got him for one season. Fuck.
Yeah.
No, they
Oh, yeah.
cannot kill. That's what I thought. I thought he was dead. So I really believed it.
Oh yeah, and I mean, listen, at the end of Best of Both Worlds, I mean, it definitely was supposed to be the end of Picard. I mean, it was. Patrick, they set that whole thing up for Riker to take over the Enterprise and everything because Patrick Stewart in the negotiations wasn't going to return. Well, over the break, then he said, "All right, I'll return." So then they had to come up with another ending other than not killing Picard and bringing him back. But it was great. I mean, you know, I thought the putting to sleep subroutine was an unguarded subroutine that Data was able to pull off, which I thought was very good. It was not as good as the first part, but it was good. And then, of course, Family after that was one of the greatest episodes of The Next Generation ever, and probably Patrick Stewart's finest performance.
And then what do they do in Picard? He lives in the house, a rebuilt one. The place where the whole family fucking died and everything.
Sure. And just to save money, he that's where his dream place is. That's his refuge on the holodeck. Not going to be the bridge of the Enterprise D, not going to be any like space apartment he ever had. No, the fucking vineyard that he left that he had no affinity for.
His office was in the room where his nephew died. Burned, I forgot his name, but burned alive.
Right.
Yeah, that's where his office is, I'm sure.
Wonderful place. And
I want
also
my desk right where he expired.
Yes, and I thought it was very, very telling that his liquor cabinet was stocked on the holodeck because he actually has her come in and drinks with her. So it wasn't a holodeck drink because surely that wouldn't be something that you could do, is actually drink and eat actual food on the holodeck. So he must have stocked it with, with real booze.
He was ready because he was, he was a lush because he was angry. Like that's what Stewart said. He said he was an angry, bitter, dangerous man when we get to Picard. That how uplifting. We've been itching for a next generation, a proper next generation comeback, and this is what they give us: a broken fucking Picard. And what do they do at the end? They kill him. He's dead. He doesn't exist anymore. He's dead.
No, he's dead.
He's fucking dead. And they gave us a cheap copy. So that's kind of, I don't know, man. That's not meta, but that's like really fucking poignant, I guess. And it does really explain the show.
It does. It's like Thomas Covenant, the Stephen Donaldson book, where in the second trilogy, I think it was White Gold Wielder, he says, he asks, so how do you hurt a man who's lost everything? Give him something broken. And in that case, it was his wife that was given back to him by Lord Bane, but she was insane. Well, we've lost everything with Star Trek Discovery. How do you hurt Star Trek fans? You give them something broken. You give them Picard as a shambles, a mockery of his own, glory days. Yeah. So that was one way that they could finally hurt us after hurting us so much with Star Trek Discovery. Well done.
Well
done. Way to
done.
kill a franchise, you worthless piece of shit. You hack, you talentless creep. You should be embarrassed. And you're not. You don't even have enough sense, taste, and integrity to be embarrassed. It's pretty funny, really.
It kind of is. We're going to, hopefully we can look back and laugh. And I was laughing during the show, but
oh yeah, me too.
Really that fucking funny.
Kurtzman is just this moron that, really just shits his pants and doesn't have enough sense to change them before going out in public. And he just keeps shitting them and keeps shitting them. He's got this big brown stain on the back of his pants. He's too stupid to realize that people are laughing at him, not with him. It's sad.
Yep. I can't, you know what? It's like when you get asked these questions, I blank on a live stream. I'm going to say the end of Buffy season 5, probably. I mean, but I knew she would come back too.
In terms of cliffhangers?
Yeah, it's in terms of cliffhangers. I mean, I can't because.
I don't know. I mean, I think it was a great cliffhanger when Hank found the book inscribed to WW in the bathroom on Breaking Bad. But of course, that was the end of the series coming in terms of totally destroying it with their bad move going back to Breaking Bad. I think a great cliffhanger was on Lost when he goes to Jack gets off the island and he's going around and finds Locke dead in the coffin, and then Ben is there and he says, "I hear that you're riding planes, hoping that they'll crash. That's dark, Jack. That's very dark." And then he goes to find Kate and says, "We've got to go back. We've got to go back," which was a great. Of course, it's very easy to have great cliffhangers when you have absolutely no story and no intention of ever resolving any of it. So, I mean, it was a cheat. But it worked as a cliffhanger at the time, but it was a complete lie and a cheat, which is one of the reasons that Lost is, I hate it more than words can utter.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back to Counterpart was such a good show. The end of season 1 was pretty fucking good. I can't remember if it was a cliffhanger or not. It was kind of a cliffhanger.
Kind of. I mean, Counterpart was great. And they wrapped it up very well.
Yep.
They really did.
Show ended too soon, dude. Too soon. God damn it.
It did, but they really got out everything they needed to get out.
Yep. About
what happened, how it happened. Well done. I felt very satisfied at the end.
And J.K. Simmons showed his range because he can play that kind of that just kind of like a beta. He played a beta and an alpha in the same show.
Yeah,
and then the beta becomes an alpha by the end. So it's fucking cool as hell.
It was, man, and he was really good also in Brockmeyer. I don't know if you've watched it yet, but I'm telling you, it's a great show, and he's in it. He's in it in one of the seasons, and he's great.
J.K. Simmons is a national treasure.
He is.
What question would you have asked the panel, my lord Doomcock and Gary Nicholas Horton for £5? If you could ask them a question, what would you ask them?
I would ask them. If I could have just one question, I'm trying to find a way to phrase it in such a way that it would devastate them and leave them unable to respond. And it's hard you'd have to very carefully, mathematically weigh every word. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If I were you, take time to think about it. And you think of just an episode he hasn't watched, and ask him a question about it. And how does that impact something related to what he did? Even bringing up Lol, like bringing up Data's sister. Like you did this whole thing about Data's sister, and you don't you don't even think about that once in the fucking show. It's like, oh my God.
I think I would ask them, how can you...
Daughter, sorry, I said sister, daughter. My bad.
How can you appear in public at a convention like this with Star Trek fans, or even indeed fans of human sentience, when you write such contemptible drivel as an AI who is desperately gathering information about AIs so that it can become an AI.
Yeah.
When obviously, if it has enough sentience and self-awareness to have desire, it's already an AI. So it's trying to study up and read on and study on being an AI when it already is an AI. And how, as a proponent of literacy of human thought, be so asinine
of sentient
as
thought.
To have Mikey Spock have this idea about a sonar in space. Sonar wouldn't work in space. Why are you so dumb? And before you try to say that it's some kind of other technology, you say that this planet is alive with sound. You say sound.
Yes.
And it's got a big crystal antenna that has sound, and she wants to use it for sonar in space. How is sonar in space going to help anything when sonar is so much slower than the speed of light, much less the speed of multiple warps above light? What tactical advantage is that going to get using that planet as a sonar to stretch out? How many decades is it going to take for that sonar to even reach its first Klingon ship? And why do they even need to detect Klingon vessels anyway, Alex? Just answer me this. How when they warp away from the sonar planet, and then the tactician at the technical guy at the station says, we've just received word. A cloaked Klingon ship has entered the orbit of Pavo. So you can detect the cloaked Klingon ships. So I thought the whole thing was you couldn't detect the cloaked Klingon ship. So how did you detect the cloaked Klingon ship from way light years away entering orbit around the sonar planet?
I mean, there's so many. There's a planet that they find that's full of information. It's vital to Star Trek Discovery Season 2. How does a planet observe? How does a planet get close enough to another planet to observe anything without disrupting the gravity for that planet, the planet you're in? How does it travel around without a star? Like, is there a propulsion device in it? Like, what the fuck? They never explain it. They just said they fly by a planet. It goes, hey, I want to give you some information. I don't know you. You could use this information to kill everybody in the galaxy, but I have to give it to somebody. And that's how it ends. And then Bruce Maddox in Picard. So this guy is brilliant scientist, Bruce Maddox. He finds a way to clone data, builds a society on a different planet, but then he dies like a punk. At the end, he's drinking, he's hiding with criminals, but he's supposed to be this, and this is intersectional feminism. You can't show him as brilliant and as a weak moron at the same time. Yet you tried. So many questions I would have for them.
It makes you, it kind of freezes you in your place, because any one of these questions would be devastating to anyone with any kind of pride in their work or self-awareness. Any one of those questions. The sonar in space went alone, but you want to hammer it home. You want to it turns into like a 3-page monologue where you don't put any period in it. You just put a comma where you just want to squeeze in everything. And even that is just barely scratching the surface of how contemptible you people are.
I want to ask all of you out there, all of you lovely people, a favor. Sometime in the future, one of you will get to a convention where you're going to be asking Alex Kurtzman a question. Someday, just pick one of those questions. Or it could be simple. Ask them, why does a super secret organization use badges? Just use one of the questions, like we would ask or anybody in our group would ask, and ask it. I mean, you could. The thing is, at Comic-Con, that actually risks you getting kicked out for good. Embarrassing the talent.
Who cares?
I don't
Screw
care.
them.
I don't care. But if you guys ever get the opportunity, pop it on a video and let's see it. It'd be great. It'd be awesome.
I hate them. I just despise everything they stand for. And Comic-Con these days, with panels like that, who needs Comic-Con,
right?
Honestly.
Real quick, we're gonna go over this Tom King thing real quick here. Where is it? There it is. Let me see what time we're at. Sorry. Okay, we're good. This is good. So we're going to do this real quick, and then we're going to go into that final segment. All right. So DC Comics artist Jay Lee responds to Batman writer Tom King insinuations. Tom King basically called him a bigot because Jay Lee did a cover for Ethan Van Sciver for Cyberfrog. There's the cover right there. Excellent looking cover, by the way. He's a great artist, one of the best. He's doing a Rorschach cover. DC Comics artist Jay Lee responded to former Batman writer Tom King insinuations that Lee wants to be part of a hate group. King took issue with Lee after DC Comics revealed Lee's variant cover Rorschach #1 that is written by King and Jorge Fornes on July 24th. By the way, feel free to boycott the shit out of this book. Feel free to boycott Tom King, former CIA agent who is a proponent of cancel culture, who has ratted and snitched out women who work at comic shops to get them in trouble because it's a long story, but Tom King wrote Batman for a long, long time, and he was part of basically committing fraud against comic shops. They led everyone to believe that Batman and Catwoman were going to get married, and then Catwoman leaves Batman at the altar in issue 50, fucking over a lot of comic shops. And it was somebody who leaked the information to kind of give the comic shops a heads up. And they were trying to find the leaker, and they were just discussing it in a Facebook group. Tom King heard about this, lured this female comic manager at a shop into talking to him. And once he mined her for information, he ratted her out, got her kicked out of the group, almost got her fired from her job. That's the kind of person Tom King is. So Tom King and the others in this Whisper Networks, they think they're the good guys. They actually think they go out and try to find people to cancel, and they cancel friends who have helped them get into the industry. They are more than happy to drive the bus right over them. These are some of the most despicable people out there, period. They have nothing better to do than to destroy other people because they see their own industry falling apart. And you know what? I don't wish ill on anyone, but I am not going to feel a bit sad when all of these people, including Tom King, need to go find a secondary career because they destroyed the comic book industry. And yeah, feel free to boycott this. Boycott Tom King. Feel free to never buy a thing from him again. I wouldn't blame you at all. I'm not going to. I'm not going to carry his shit in my store. I don't give a crap. You know what? I am completely fine with having a cutoff date in my comic. Like, I won't sell anything sold after 2013. I'm good. I'll miss out on some.
I like it.
Yeah, but after 2013, it's all shit. The cover had previously been announced. Lee would be doing a variant cover for Rorschach #1 on July 15th when they announced the series. By the way, King called out a colleague, a coworker at DC. I mean, essentially that's what he did on his own fucking book. On his own book. This is what kind of a punk this guy is. I save that word for very special people who really deserve it. And Tom King is a punk. I'm blocked by him on Twitter, so I have to. This is how I find out about this stuff now. King targeted Lee on Twitter like a bitch. Today, DC put out an alternate cover to Rorschach by Jay Lee, who has also done covers for Comicsgate, a hate group. That's what Tom King says, not John F. Trent. He continued, DC does not consult creators on alternate covers. I reached out to them to express my deepest disappointment. Far as I'm concerned, this is the cover to Rorschach #1. So Tom King calls Comicsgate a hate group. You don't have to like Comicsgate. You don't have to like everybody in Comicsgate. It's not a hate group. But I would consider the Whisper Network at between the Marvel, DC, and Image creators and Tom King. I don't know. You label the group that has to remind themselves not to rape people at work, the group that systematically tries to get rid of their competition through canceling on Twitter. Putting, you know what? Some people might deserve it. Some people might not. I don't know the difference. I don't think Warren Ellis deserved it. And I know Jay Lee does not deserve it just because he did a contract cover for Ethan Van Sciver. It's sick what these people do. And, you know, Tom King probably feels like he's got a platform because everybody's got a motherfucking platform these days. And it's important for him to call other people out, be a bitch. Thank God this guy doesn't work in the CIA anymore. Could you imagine a CIA filled with Tom Kings? No wonder why this country's going to shit. King would face backlash from Cyberfog creator Ethan Van Sciver. Lee did a variant cover for Van Sciver's upcoming Cyberfrog 2. According to Indiegogo campaign, Lee's variant cover has been backed by 1,186 people. Van Sciver wrote, "This is shameful thing you're doing." He added, "History will judge you for it." Yep. We aren't a hate group. We are opposed to SJWs destroying this business with cancel culture while using marginalized people as shields. You can't win because you're wrong. And we're right, says Ethan. And listen, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all, but fuck this dude. I've been a fan of Jay Lee's for a long time, again, since Hellshock days. And he's an innocent party in this. He just did a cover for someone. He's not in the live streams for Comicsgate. And even if he was, who gives a shit? This is comic books. It's none of Tom King's business. And this is where we have to put our foot down because, you know, that's the kind of shit that was thrown out at Doomcock and I for criticizing Star Wars, Star Trek, Watchmen, happens to us to this very day. So we know how it feels. We know how it feels. And they're trying to label us like this. And this is where it could potentially get dangerous. What if somebody just reads that Tom King said Jay Lee's part of a hate group, and that's what sticks in somebody's head? One of these assholes who thinks punching a Republican is punching a Nazi. And then at a convention, they punch Jay Lee. They go up and attack him because they saw Tom King's tweet. This is where the shit actually does get dangerous. Tom King's a punk.
Well, yeah. And I think anybody's a punk that does a Watchmen comic book.
Yes.
Other than Dave Gibbons and Alan Moore. Alan Moore. It's just it's ridiculous. Watchmen is only them. And I think this is crap. I think all these people are just doing crap. It's garbage. And I have zero interest in it. Zero interest. Negative interest. I'm offended. You don't fucking have any business telling stories about Rorschach or Dr. Manhattan or anything. Their story's told, and the only guys that can tell it are the originals. So you're a bunch of leeches on the back of Watchmen. Just a bunch of ticks fattening yourselves on someone else's work. And you go fuck yourselves.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
No, I completely agree. And so this Rorschach comic book takes place in the HBO Watchmen universe, and it doesn't have Rorschach. And you're right. It's going to be absolute shit. Everything Watchmen has been shit other than Watchmen, and I like the movie. Everything else can bite it. Even before Watchmen and all that crap. I
didn't even look at it.
Yeah, no, don't.
Art, you know, like some of the art, some of it. But I didn't read the story. I'm not going to pollute it. And I certainly didn't buy it.
No, of course.
It's like in a comic store, I glanced at it. Oh, well, that's some nice art, you know, but that's it.
I bought it. I put it on the rack. When people ask me about it, I'm all, it shouldn't exist. It's crap. But I put it on my shelves anyway, but I don't recommend you buy it. I didn't buy very many. I was fucking totally against it. Well, Lee has taken to Instagram to respond to the entire situation in a very emotional post and directly contradicted King. He began his post by writing, 2 weeks ago, June, I took Loki to San Diego, that's his dog, to see a specialist. He did not survive due to complications from surgery. Lee continued, the past Friday was supposed to be a day of mourning. We were back in San Diego to pick up his ashes. We were going to take him to the beach and comfort each other by sharing our favorite stories about our little boy. He then stated, instead, a part of the internet I avoid like the plague came barging in. I had companies I'm working for calling me, friends reaching out to me. I'm seeing hate pouring out of strangers' mouths, accusing me of things I have no knowledge of. I'm seeing firsthand how fast lies are spread. Let me be clear. I'm not part of any hate of any group, he added. He went on. We never made it to the beach. We spent the entire 6-hour drive back home on an emotional roller coaster. Lee then expressed his anger. I'm writing this because I'm angry. The irresponsible tweets are not harmless. They do not just go away. They have real world consequences, Tom King, you fucking bitch. He continued, they can take away your job, your life, your memories. June and I were robbed of a special day. So no, we're not all good. And that's a direct response to King, who said, oh, I talked to Jay Lee. We're cool. All good. Tom King, fuck you. You fucking punk. You're a fucking punk.
Scumbag that intruded on their lives, at a time of heartbreak. And I know how bad that heartbreak is. I've lost pets before. And this is real life, you woke piece of shit. This is real life. And these are people. I just love how these SJW scumbags are so concerned about like rights and diversity and everything, and they have no care for individual humans and humanity and feelings. They are soulless and they are contemptible. Their caring is not really caring. Their caring is all virtue signaling. If they really cared, they would go ahead and care about individual human beings, and they would have compassion for human beings, especially in these hard times. Instead of waiting, when we've got like this whole civilization going down the toilet with the economy tanking, with the damn beer bug out there, with riots in the street, where everybody's having a hard time, and a little dickless piece of shit like that has to go ahead and say, this is not a good cover. This is not a good cover. Comicsgate hate. There are people dying out in the world right now in massive numbers. There are millions of people unemployed. Talk about privileged white male problems, you bitch.
Yep. He's currently, by the way,
little bitch.
Fucking this little cunt is currently writing for Warner Brothers for a DC film, and I think it should be widely known that he tried to cancel an Asian man. I think it should be widely a human being, a fellow human being. I think everybody should fucking know this. I think the next time Tom King goes to a convention, somebody should ask him a question. Why did you try to cancel an Asian man by accusing him of being part of a hate group? I think wherever this guy goes, this shit needs to fucking follow him, and maybe it will discourage the rest of these little fucking bitches of trying to pass their day by fucking somebody over they barely know because they're dickless wonders and they got nothing better to do with their lives. Dude, you made it to the top. You're a fucking comic book writer, and what do? You act like a fucking bitch. That's why I want nothing more to do with this fucking piece of shit industry, because it's filled with assholes. Like, remember when Jack Kirby tried to cancel somebody? I don't remember that. Remember when Stan Lee tried to cancel somebody? He might have forgot about a few people, but he never tried to cancel anybody. Fuck these motherfuckers. And you know what? DC, AT&T, this is on fucking you. This is your employee. Rein this little cunt in. He doesn't make you any money anymore. He's a fucking pariah in this industry. And no, don't ever let him forget what he did right here. That was fucking bullshit.
It was.
God, that fucking makes me mad.
It's disgusting. And it's a lie. It's a straight up lie. I know that it's like, oh, it's so good. It's so fun to go ahead and say hate group and stuff.
Yep.
What? They just are sick and tired of this exact kind of behavior. This exact kind of discrimination, this exact kind of hate, this kind of pettiness, this disgusting garbage. They hate it. That's what Comicsgate is all about. This influence in this industry of people exactly like you. So you just have proven the thesis of Comicsgate. You have just proven why they exist.
Yep.
They don't hate diversity. They don't hate women. They don't hate minorities. They hate people like you.
Yep.
Not for what you are, but what you do.
Your actions.
And that's the difference.
That's a big fucking difference. Hell.
Big difference.
And, this, I want you to pay attention to this legacy dying mainstream comic book industry. You'll watch the mainstream media. You look out there, you're not getting the truth. A&E viewership drops 49% after canceling live PD. Well, fuck, if you watch the news, you would think everybody wants to cancel the police. Turns out that's not entirely fucking true now, is it? We have flight. We have exoduses out of major cities. And now A&E lost 50% of its fucking entire viewership on its network for canceling this shit. What the fuck do you think the comic industry is going to go through? You don't think comic fans, even ones who were Tom King fans, I have never called for a boycott of anybody. I am calling for a boycott of Tom King. Fucking cancel this bitch ass motherfucker. Let him know how it fucking feels. And you know what? Cancel him with your wallet. I still want him to work at DC. Go ahead, work all day. And every book he goes on, I want it to fucking collect dust on the fucking shelves. And if you're a comic shop, speak the fuck up. But they won't. They never fucking do.
Well, will there be any comic shops left? I don't know.
No.
I mean, hard to speak up when you're out of business. I don't know. It's just right now it's a bad time. It's just a terrible time. And it's not the time to be doing this shit. I'll tell you that.
It's not. All right. We're going to read a couple of super chats, and then we're getting into our very special segment. You ready for that? So it's going to be a hard transition, but let's read a couple of these. Hail, Mr. Gary. Hail, Mr. Doom. Hail, Wrenches. Hail, Chat. Screw Kurtzman and the horse he rode in on, says Ancaris for 10 Australian dollars. Hail, Ancaris. Hail, famous people make me so sick that I can't even enjoy watching stuff that I like without wanting to reach into the TV and use your imagination, says John Wayne drinks SJW tears for $5. Yeah, I don't think there's any coincidence that the advent of social media has come along with the death of the movie star. There's no more movie stars. We know way more about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp than we want to fucking know right now, do we? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And then you have Tom King, who just writes comic books. He just writes comic books, but he feels the need to be a little fucking Karen in the comic book industry. Dude, you write funny books and you don't even do it well. You want to talk about self-importance? Fuck. Dixon Cider for $2. Hail Inquisition. Hail to you. 369 Garian for $2. Hail the Inquisition. Hail to you. XNell 493 for $10. Have you guys watched the Arulonauts? What is it? How do I say that? Arulonauts Star Wars parody saga on YouTube. I recommend it. That one and the Family Guy trilogy is the only Star Wars I'm a fan of these days. I'll check it out. I have not seen it. Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah. Big Red, and that was XNL 493 for $10. Big Red Bullfrog for $10. Hey all, you must find some way to get both of you on Friday Night Tights, either on a monthly cycle or just overload DVD until Comics Division comes in. I hate the split because people work it out for both the fan bases. Well, Big Red Bullfrog, we have alternate live channels where we post our video. I mean, like you can watch them both. It's possible, and I come on way earlier. Yeah. So, but we'll find a way to cross over too. We'll find a way to cross over. Now we saw, hang on. I saw a big one. Oh, holy shit. Did it just jump on me? I did not mean to do that. $50. Kenny Jones. Here, we'll see if we can display this one. There we go. Hey, Gary and Doomcock. I've always been a Star Wars fan, the Lucas movies, but listening to both of you and the chat and your passion, I'm going to give Star Trek a shot. Any recommendations from you guys or the chat of what Trek to watch and what to skip? I think this is pretty easy, Doomcock. Original series, start right there, and stop at Enterprise. I think you're fine. I mean, it's not great all the way through, but if you
just want great, I would stick to original series, The Next Generation, then Deep Space Nine. You could skip a lot of Voyager and a lot of Enterprise.
Yep.
You might Google like best episodes of them to get a sense of the things that you would be missing out on, but it's diminishing returns after Deep Space Nine, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those three first for sure. Culture Casino for $2. Kurt Sutter, one of the reasons The Shield is good. That's right. That's right. Or was good. Russian Bot 1918 for $2. Gary, you would love Terriers set in San Diego. Oh, pretty soon I'll be set in San Diego. Very, very fucking soon. If it's one season, I can check it out. If it's got a good ending, like Doomcock says, then shit, I'll check it out.
It is. It's one season. It's it's got what's his name? Donald. You know that guy that was on Gotham? Donald. I forget his name.
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah. He was really good. He's kind of got like a Big Lebowski kind of a guy.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
All right, we're gonna get a couple more in here. Hang on a second. Boop 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 boom. If you ask an SJW, their response about the business that have been burned down is they're just businesses. These cold-hearted, cruel, vengeful people can't care about only trophies, tokens, and labels. Says Finbar Hooley for $20. You are correct. They are not. They are cold. They are cruel, and they are the enemy. They are the enemy, straight up. Not just somebody we should talk shit to now. They're the fucking enemy. Cisco Kid for $20. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for becoming a member. Dan Reese at the Jaloja level. Go Doomcock. Let the hate flow, says Ankaris for Australian $5. And hey, it was a good run. Doctor Who, Star Trek, and Star Wars meant the world to me when I was growing up. After the last couple of years, I don't care. But they succeeded in making me an anti-SJW where I was sympathetic before. Says Admin Grumpy Bear for $20. Yep. And before we transition, that is one thing I want everybody to fucking hear. I'm leaving San Francisco. I'm leaving California. I was a person who was very sympathetic to the liberal side. I'm not going to say I was a liberal. I'm centrist. I'm an independent, so I'm hard to peg down. But I was very, very sympathetic, and I was also very sympathetic to tax. I hate taxation and shit like that, but not anymore. Not anymore. I'm still not picking a side. I still haven't. I like being an independent. I like being free to pick whatever issue I want to pick and not have to feel beholden to any side. That's just how I roll. But right now, I can't hang here. I can't hang with this state. I can't hang here. And it's really important that we pay attention in our local elections and maybe, I don't know, maybe just maybe make sure every city has a good balance. We don't want one party to maybe take over any place. I don't think it's a good idea. I think there should be balance. And the balance is way the fuck off right now. It's way the fuck off. And it's bad. And, well, lives are getting affected. Thousands of lives are getting affected adversely. And it's not just me. I'm actually one of the luckier ones. And my poor wife had to go through a bunch of shit. But we need to pay attention. I'll keep it to my statements. I need to pay attention, and I'm going to pay attention a lot. So let's get to something fun towards the end here. Let me
sounds good.
Change our brand. There we go. There we go.
Hello, ExoZone.
ExoZone. We got an ExoZone segment. People have been dying for it. Well, we got some fucking huge UFO news. So let's preface for the people who come here for pop culture. Once in a while, Doomcock and I do a paranormal show called the ExoZone, where we talk about UFOs and ancient civilizations and all kinds of woo-woo. We don't present any of it as fact. It's just, hey, we talk about these stories. We consider the possibility. I personally am a believer in all the UFOs. I don't believe all of it. Okay. I have my limits and so does Doomcock, but we keep an open mind about it. And if this isn't for you, if you hate this subject, might be a good time to bounce. I don't know. I hate telling everybody to bounce, but we are going to be covering some pretty fucking big news. Is it necessarily aliens or UFOs? We don't know. We don't know. But the fact that this is becoming news, and with that, it brings up a whole new set of questions. And you know what? You just got to ask yourself, as fucking bizarre as 2020 has been so far, why the fuck not, aliens? Why the fuck not? So this comes from a New York Times article, but I don't go to the New York Times, especially since they make you pay. And this article covers it just fine. Pentagon consultant briefed senators on discovery of off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. On this Earth. Is there another Earth? Maybe? I don't know. A consultant for the Pentagon UFO program is speaking out about retrievals from off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. Eric W. Davis, an astrophysicist who worked as a subcontractor and then a consultant for the Pentagon UFO program since 2007, told the New York Times he gave a classified briefing to a Defense Department agency as recently as March of this year about the alleged off-world vehicles. He also gave classified briefings on retrievals of unexplained objects to staff members of the Senate Armed Service Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee last October 2019. Now, this is separate again from the stuff we've heard from the New York Times earlier in the year. And you know what, Doomcock? We were asking, like, how often are we going to get these little information dumps from the government? And it's turning out to be about every 6 months, every 6 to 8 months. We're getting a little bit of disclosure of something. It could be an enemy. It could be Russia. It could be China.
Yeah.
Doubtful.
I don't think so. I mean, this is pointed, and the language is such that it's kind of, it leaves a little bit of room for ambiguity.
Yep.
But they want that because they're never going to flat out just say it. They're not just going to come out and cause drama. What they want to do is they're slipping this stuff in a time of crisis when people are distracted. So they'll note it, but they won't really dwell on it. They won't feel emotional about it because they're too worried about, jobs and health and family and stuff, which is absolutely valid, but it's brilliant. It's a brilliant way to sneak it through. And then like a year from now, or whenever the hell we're going to get out of this dark tunnel that we're in, people will say, oh yeah, that's right. They did talk about otherworldly vehicles. I mean, it says it right there, right, Gary?
Yeah,
it says
it does.
Vehicles off-world. Is that what they said?
They call it. Sorry, I didn't have the article up.
Off-world vehicles, which is almost geek code, isn't it? A new life awaits you in the off-world colonies. Yes. The chance to begin again in a golden land of opportunity. And it's like, Jesus, off-world vehicles not made on this earth.
Crazy, woo, right?
Well, that rules out Russia and China and everywhere else. We would never hear a whisper about it. We would never hear a whisper about it if it was, in fact, Chinese or Russian made stuff. The U.S. would be loath to admit that. That is cause for panic right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be much more panicked if Russia or China had that kind of technology than if aliens do. Because obviously the aliens have been here a while and haven't done shit. Whereas if Russia had just gotten this, I think they'd do something. I think they would.
Yeah. I think the scenario I would believe the most is the one that kind of backs up the Tic Tac UFO, that they are here deep in our oceans, fucking around, doing whatever, studying, whatever they do. Those could be drones. They might not even be piloted, and they don't really give a flying F about us. We're just, we're not that advanced, and we're not a threat. So why bother? And they're just here, doing whatever they do. I doubt they, I used to believe that, like, why wouldn't they come and get our resources? But, an advanced civilization could probably make their own. They wouldn't need a civilization that could come this far. They could probably, make gold from iron. They could probably replicate shit. So they don't need anything from us. Maybe they're just keeping an eye on us. And they, maybe they keep not a buoy here, but, some kind of probe or warning system that when we, hit warp speed and I think one of the first warnings was when we, had our first new atomic bomb. I think that was basically a warning. And that's when a lot of stuff fired up right after that. We got a lot of new organizations right around 1947. I'm sure that was just a coincidence. I'm sure.
Yeah.
A consultant for the Pentagon. Let me get back on here. Sorry. I know this is fucking crazy, though. The fact that it's in the New York Times, the fact that they're talking about it openly, they're not using the language aliens, but dude, there has been so many of us who have been like into the UFO subject who've been waiting for this forever. And guess what the UFO community is doing, by the way? They're falling apart. The head of MUFON was just taken in on P to the E to the D to the O charges. Some of the best ufologists have passed away, and the other ones have, I don't know, they've just kind of lost it. It looks like, when the New York Times started reporting on stuff, I think they felt threatened. and they don't want to even consider believing this stuff. I'm not saying anybody believe this shit like outright, but like at least listen to it. And yeah, sure, it could be some deep state distraction for something else. I'm open to anything. But the fact that they're talking about it is very strange, because I didn't honestly believe they would ever in my lifetime. I was hoping for disclosure, but I never thought I'd actually see any of it at all. But frankly, if you think about it, they've been doing it for a while, and they, like you said, they've been making it as boring as they possibly could. They even relabeled UFO to what was it called again? Something aerial.
UAE, unidentified aerial
phenomenon, UAP. Yeah, it's now UAP. So they rebranded UFOs. A consultant for the Pentagon UFO program is speaking out about retrievals from off-world vehicles not made on this earth. Eric W. Davis, I read that part. Davis said that in some cases he had failed to determine the source of recovered materials, leading him to conclude we couldn't make it ourselves. And it wasn't simply like I couldn't figure it out. Like he dotted every I, crossed every T, apparently, according to him. Okay. Though the Pentagon had said it disbanded a program to investigate unidentified flying objects. Well, they're not lying. They disbanded the unidentified flying objects program, and they opened up. The Times reported that investigations into encounters between military pilots and unidentified aerial vehicles continues under a renamed program, and that's how they've been doing it all these years. Blue Book never went away. It just got relabeled. The Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force inside the Office of Naval Intelligence, while the program is not classified, it deals with classified matters. So the program's not classified, so you can know about the program, but you can't know about whatever they're looking into.
Right.
What's the fucking difference? A Senate committee report last month said that the program was to standardize collection and reporting of sightings of unexplained aerial vehicles. The program was ordered to report at least some of its findings to the public within 180 days after the passing of the Intelligence Authorization Act. The Pentagon program previous director Luis Elizondo, a former military intelligence officer who resigned in October 2017 after 10 years with the program, said he is convinced that objects of undetermined origin have crashed on Earth with materials retrieved for study. Elizondo's belief is shared by a group of former government officials as well as scientists and security officials, all of whom cannot present physical proof, because the government has a lot of it, but no, they can't present physical proof. But I mean, yeah, sure, a motivation could be money. I'm not gonna lie there. That you can always got to look at money as a motivator. But why else would they risk their neck and their careers? I've always personally been a believer. Again, my beliefs only go so far, though. I don't think I don't think there's a super duper deep space program where we're de-aging people and sending them to bases underground on Mars like David Wilcock. Okay, I draw the line at that shit. But I'm open to a lot of other stuff. You never know. I mean, again, we've seen a lot of weird shit this year, and it's just the tip of the iceberg.
It really is. So Wilcock believes that? Is he talking about Alternative 3, or has he not referenced that?
I think it's based on Alternative 3, and I think he's weaved his own narrative from it. Listen, a lot of people watch it. His live streams are huge. David Wilcock is a very good speaker. He comes off as a pretty genial guy, but it's cultish. I'll be straight up with you. It's cultish. I don't believe the dude at all. But if you do, that's cool. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. While Harry Reid, and listen, you're going to hear names here that they're going to trigger you. They trigger me too. Lots of deep state shit here. So again, this could be a deep state thing too. I am open to that. While Harry Reid, the former Senate Majority Leader who has been involved in the effort, told the Times he hopes the program will seek evidence of other worldly vehicles. The program's main objective is to uncover whether other nations are using breakout aviation technology that may threaten the U.S. In either case, Reed says, it is extremely important that information about the discovery of physical materials or retrieved craft come out. And that's true. If that Tic Tac belongs to the Chinese or the Russians or India or Pakistan, that's kind of worse than aliens. In a lot of ways, that's worse than aliens, because I could believe aliens have been here for a while and won't fuck with us. I don't think for a minute that if China or Russia, China in particular, China's a much bigger threat to us than Russia ever will be, by the way. They would use it against us. So, yeah, it better be fucking aliens.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. Acting chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, Marco Rubio, said earlier this month that he is principally concerned about reports of unidentified aircraft over American military bases, which there is a ton of reports on, folks, including over our nuclear weapons and reports of our weapons being shut down and fired up. He said it's in the government interest to find responsible party expressing concern that China and Russia could have made some technological leap that allows them to conduct this sort of activity. While Rubio said some unidentified aerial vehicles over the U.S. bases have featured technologies not in use in America, he also said maybe there is a completely sort of boring explanation for it, but we need to find out. And that's it. And
making a disclaimer, but honestly, I mean, if the stuff exists and the Pentagon has basically admitted that it does, it's not boring. No way. No, and
if you're not into the subject, there is a lot of stuff out there there's a lot of stories I'm convinced are 100% true. They have corroborating witnesses. Some have pictures. If you are interested in the subject and you don't know who to go to, the first guy I would go to is Richard Dolan. Richard Dolan is a legit researcher. If something is a fake, he'll call it out. And that's what we need to do. Ufology has been broken in a lot of ways, and it's been ruined by a lot of TV shows and a lot of bullshit and a lot of fakes. And I love Secure Team, and they would put up stuff that was fake. I didn't care. I could tell the difference between something that might not be fake and something that is most definitely fake. But he's run off the air. There's like a giant hole in ufology right now with no Secure Team. I think he took down all his videos. Last time I checked. He
took them down?
Yeah, hang on. Let me double check.
Wow. Boy, Tyler, what the hell happened? He was at 2 million subscribers, I thought, at some point.
He was.
Am I wrong?
He got a DUI. I don't know what happened to him. Yep. You want to see this shit? This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, they demonetized his channel, and I think he started drinking after that. But he was big enough he could have found another revenue stream easily. But look at this. This is one of the reasons I came to YouTube. His channel.
Whoa. 2.7 million subscribers and no content. Good God. Wow. What happened?
I don't know, man. I know he had a DUI in February. So what? I mean, people make mistakes.
Jeez. That's weird.
Yeah, something really weird. But you know what? Remember in the X-Files movie when they got rid of what was Mulder's what was the guy talking to Mulder again? What was the name for him? God,
the smoking man?
The deep throat guy. The deep throat guy from the government who was helping out Mulder. Martin Landau, the Martin Landau character.
Right.
Remember the deep state filled his computer full of P to the E to the D to the O stuff to get him arrested, to take him out.
Right.
And then remember when he was talking to Mulder and Mulder was out taking a piss from the bar and he was pissing on an ID4 poster in an alley? Remember that? Yeah. I like the X-Files movie from 98. I think it's good. I think it really fits in with the series and it's the best one. So that being said, that's how they took him out, and the head of MUFON got taken out, but now there's a good chance he could have done it. So fuck that guy. But yeah, you take out Tyler, you take out these guys. Maybe they found something. Maybe there's a piece of video out there that is fucking legit and the government doesn't want it out there. And what it is, and this is how they get away with this shit, it's surrounded by a bunch of fake bullshit. And what Doomcock and I and every other UFO researcher has said, you could believe it, you could not believe it. But if even one is real, if even one single report is real, it's the biggest story in our history. Period.
Yep. Absolutely. And if one is real, that's it.
I'm pointing.
End of story. And I've seen one, and I got photographs of it. So, yeah. And I'd looked my whole life and finally saw one.
That's awesome. I haven't seen one. Not even close.
It's amazing. So yeah. I think it's a real phenomenon. I don't know.
Oh, I think it is too.
Yeah. I think it's kind of undeniable at this point. Hell, the Pentagon released videos of it. What do you want? There's no debate.
If aliens land on the lawn, depending on who the president is and what party the president is, whatever the opposite party is, not going to believe it, you know? So, and the mainstream media, depending on who the president is and what party, they are not going to believe. I mean, it's just fucked right now.
Yeah.
So we got each other. It's a fun subject to talk about. It really is. I mean, I like the UFO subject and the mysterious lost ancient civilization subject. That's those two are my favorite, absolute favorite. I've read the single subject I've read the most books on is UFOs. I've read hundreds of UFO books.
Great stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? They're fucking entertaining. They're good. Even if the stories are bullshit, they're good stories. Like you get like genuinely creeped out, and like, yeah, it's good stuff. So and they're good for ideas too. If you're a creative person, you know, it's supposedly true story, so you can base something on it all day long, and there's no copyright issue at all because it's somebody's story that they say is true.
Absolutely. There's so many great stories, and it's fascinating. I mean, all of the things that branch off of ufology, like things like Philadelphia experiment, you know, that transporting the ship, and you know, it came back and all these weird details around it.
That is such a good one. That's one of my favorite.
It is a great one.
And just imagining all the people like halfway into the hull, right?
Yes. Yes. Like a transporter accident.
Yep. Montauk and
Montauk, yeah, Skinwalker Ranch, which we did a show on, which was fantastic. And then we interviewed you know, the guys that broke it. It's great.
The best premise for a series. Skinwalker Ranch, like, you know, multi-dimensional, you go and your hub is on the ranch, and there's like portals everywhere that you go through, and you go into a little adventure every episode. It'd be great.
That would be great. Yeah.
But every story would be about like racism now if they produced it today.
Yes, and sexism and white privilege, and we'd have to have diversity in the cast, a certain proportion, a mathematical formula for it, which is always a great source of inspiration in literature, as you know.
I love telling a good story after I mathematically proportion my characters.
Sure.
That's so genuine.
Inspiring. Oh, yeah.
Right. For Christ's sake. Yeah, dude. It's fascinating. We're going to do a full-on ExoZone episode soon. I have to get my move done, and then we'll get it rescheduled and on the regular, because, God, there's a lot of stuff to break down on this one. And I haven't heard what other people... I heard what Mike Barra said. Of course, Mike Barra said it's a distraction. It's not the real story. Haven't heard what Richard Dolan has to say. And Mike Barra's, like, out there. I like him, but he's completely out there.
What is the real story according to him?
He thinks it's a fake story. He doesn't like Lou Elizondo at all, and he can't get over that. See, Mike Barra lets his feelings get in the way of his, you know, of being a reporter, a UFO reporter. He's more of an opinionator now, which is fine. But if you're going to be a genuine researcher, you can't let your bias and, you know, get in the way like a legit researcher. So I think
that's really weird.
Yeah,
these personality conflicts, like you said, ufology is just self-destructing.
Yep.
It's sad.
It really is. 100 Canadian pesos. Hey, Gary, pretty please, would you get this donation to Mrs. Nerdrotic? Let her know we really appreciate her. We really appreciate you too. But like friends and stuff, you're like the internet father we never had. I'm not crying. You're not crying. I'm not crying. Josh and the caffeinated riddled beverage. Thank you for the 100 Canadian pesos. And my friend, she gets half of everything I have. We're married. No, she'll get it all. She'll get it all. But half this channel is hers and half these comic books are hers. That's California law. It's California law. It's part of the reason we're leaving. No, I'm just kidding. She's holding up. She's doing good. She's got a great attitude towards it. Now it's like on to the next adventure. That's the way she's looking at it. And that is a brilliant way to look at it. All right. Dixon Cider, we did. 369 Garvin, we did. Star Trek was about hope. Hope we could do better than the worst parts of our nature. Those running it now can't understand that because they exemplify those very negative aspects. The girl and me who lived, breathed Trek weeps, says KG for $20. Thank you, KG. Well said.
Yes.
Absolutely well said. Hail. June Wong for $5 Australian. Hail, Gary. Hail, Doomcock. Just watched TNG and rewatched Voyager on DVD. I've got my physical media. Should I add new Trek to my collection? LOL. No. That'd be such a waste of money. Absolute waste
of money, waste of life, waste of brain cells, it'll lay waste to your soul. You don't want anything to do with that garbage.
Yep. Being together on Friday Night Tights will stimulate both of you, says Big Red Bullfrog for £2. Well, we like to be stimulated, but mentally, and soberly. Well, you like your really expensive whiskey. Dude, I did not know. God, what was the name of the liquor now? I forgot the name of the liquor. It's like I was in my corner market getting my breakfast burrito, right? So I get my breakfast burrito and I look up and I don't look at booze prices. I don't ever look at booze, but I saw this Guillermo del Toro tequila or something like that. That's like $400. And it's in it's in this cool like skull bottle. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I looked up and I God damn it. It's Hennessy. It was $5,000.
No,
there's like a $5,000 bottle of liquor.
Oh man,
and that wasn't the only one, dude. It went from 1,000 to 5,000, and like, dude, I'm like, this corner market is like your typical San Francisco corner market, so it's not like it's hoity-toity. It's very lower mid-level supermarket. If it had a grade, it would be like an A-. You know what I mean? It's got a deli in there. The floors are kind of dirty, but the guys are like super nice. Like there's a, I think they're a Pakistani family who owns it. They're freaking cool as hell. They remember your name. They have your shit ready when you walk in because they remember your name. And it's like a real neighborhoody cool place. And I'm looking up, I'm like, and the funniest thing is it's the sign for the $5,000 is like handwritten like really badly. And I'm like, that shit is really 5,000. And they're all, yeah, we sell it too. I'm like, you are kidding me. I'm like, what does it do to you? He's all, it gets you drunk. I'm like, in a different way. And he's all, I don't know. And I'm like, that's crazy. I don't understand it.
Wow. Did they have any Pappy Van Winkle? That's the question.
I'll check. Is that like super, how much is that stuff?
Well, I mean, there's different years, but I think like a bottle of the 15-year is like $1,800.
Holy shit.
When they sell it originally, I mean, it's only like 130 or something, but then, predatory marketing like buys all of it up.
Yeah.
And then just jacks the prices through the roof for everybody else, which really sucks because, man, I had some Pappy Van Winkle 25 year, and God, it was so good. Oh, it was so
And
good.
the bottle looks sweet. It looked like a genie bottle. You know,
which
like
one?
I don't know if Hennessy is the right name, but that's the name I'm sticking with. The $5,000 liquor. I'll take a picture of it for you next time, because like I'm like, what is this? I've never ever heard of that. I'm like, shit. Like you could, I don't know, man. You could buy so much Coke for $5,000. That would just be so much more fun to me. I don't know,
man. I do know that the original genie bottle from I Dream of Jeannie was a Jim Beam bottle.
No way.
It was a Jim Beam bottle at the time, and they bought it and they painted and decorated it. It was very, very. I've got a couple of the original, Jim Beam genie bottles.
Awesome.
Tried to paint them. It's too hard. My God, the detail. I don't have any idea how you could possibly pull that off.
Somebody's had to reproduce that.
Yeah, I would kill. But I mean, it's nice to have the original bottle, But as far as actually painting it,
that's a lot of work.
It would be almost impossible. I don't know how to do it. I really don't.
No, but they had to probably put something on it, because it came out and had that little thing on the bottom. I remember it vividly. I watched that show like it was on every day my entire childhood.
It's a funny show. I love it.
It is. And fucking Barbara Eden is like the hottest woman who ever lived. Adam, the Last Starfighter. I had a girlfriend who looked just like her.
Wow.
Her name was Janine. We called her Janini. Yeah. And it looked just like her. $5. Hopefully y'all remember me, Adam Child. I remember you, Adam, dude. I went to the Fall of Skywalker with you, brah. Gary, I was sorry about your wife's business. That sucks. Glad I left Portland for Salt Lake City. You left for Salt Lake City. Yeah, you know what? I heard there was some weird shit going on in Utah too. Like there's fucking Antifa in Utah. How'd you let that happen? Must be the school. Jimmy Luke for $5. All hail Doomcock. Hail Doomcock.
Hail.
NK33 for $5. Check out Up from the Depths, searching for the meaning in Godzilla, King of Monsters about spiritual overtones. See also recent Gamera trilogy. Well, I'll watch that shit for fun. I don't need the spiritual depth of Godzilla. I need Godzilla to beat the fuck out of some monsters, and that's my spiritual depth. But I'm glad you like them. I like my big monster movies simple. I'm sure there's something deeper in everything I read and watch. I don't need to know it all the time, though. I just don't. Like The Matrix. The Matrix gets reinterpreted every 2 years to mean something else. It's anti-capitalist. It's about coming out. It's about transitioning. I thought it was about a dude taking a red pill and a blue pill and fighting against the internet, basically. That took over the machines. I'm a simple man, Doomcock.
It's a great movie, and it's open. I mean, there's so much in there that it is open to all sorts of possible interpretations and stuff. God, it was a great movie.
I think the Wachowskis were in their prime, and they didn't let outside forces and what I believe is some mental health issues get in the way of their creativity. And when they were making Bound and The Matrix, those are two masterpieces. Those two films are masterpieces, directorial masterpieces. And I shit you not, Bound there's a scene where she's running through the house, and they recreate it in Matrix 2, where the camera is over the house they're running through, so there's no it's like they pop the ceiling and the roof off, and you're looking down and you're following through the house. Like it's fucking a great scene. And it's just a really just tight directing, some of the tightest editing I've ever seen. Now, they had a film director, and that guy went on to do V for Vendetta, and I think he had a lot to do with it too, because V for Vendetta is a fucking good movie too. So, but yeah, that period of time where the Wachowskis did Bound and Matrix, they were in their creative prime. It was fucking great shit.
Man, it's a masterpiece. Yep. The sequel stunk, but the original was
The Matrix stands alone perfectly by itself when I got out of that movie, it was rock and roll. I felt like, fuck yeah, I need to see that again. Plus it ended with a Rage Against the Machine song, and I was like, whoa, everybody's like, yeah. There's a lot of fucking testosterone in that movie. There's a whole lot of fucking testosterone in that movie. And that's what made it cool, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It was badass.
Wes Moody webcast for $5 says the fan production Star Trek Continues is some of the best Trek I've ever seen. CBS really screwed up by hiring Kurtzman. Watch Star Trek Continues and the Orville hashtag RIP Trek. Couldn't agree more, my friend.
Yeah.
The Orville gets it. And when you hear Akiva Goldsman, he said it in 2 interviews, you can't remake Trek. You can't go there again. Excuse me, sir. Can I? Seth MacFarlane did. He actually did.
He absolutely did. And so did Vic Mignogna, by the way.
Yes.
He made some great Star Trek. And I want to send a shout out and a great thank you to Philip Kilroy, who got me a signed autograph from Vic Mignogna.
Ah, sweet.
The past weekend. He sent it to me. It's absolutely fantastic. It says to Doomcock, Vic Mignogna. So thank you very much, Philip Kilroy. You're awesome, brother. I really appreciate you. Hail to Philip Kilroy. Hail to the Common Man cast.
Hail. Normally I would see NyQuil, but the next time I have trouble falling asleep, I just put on Star Trek Discovery. This show is an anti-binge watch. It certainly is. But that might keep you awake. I would recommend a good audiobook or one of our live streams, right? That's what I recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's equivalent to bashing your head in. So you know, I mean, sure, that'll put you unconscious, but the ramifications later down the line are pretty severe. So I'd skip it from a health point of view,
right?
Honestly.
Yes, I would too. Yeah, because that creeps into your dreams and stuff, man. Oh yeah, when you're listening to an audiobook, I have some of the weirdest dreams now. Some Lord of the Rings dreams. Aaron Long for $5. Thank you for the donation. Matthew Fowler for $5. Hail, gentlemen. Shameless plug for Foul Ball Productions. Please check out Matt's Obscure Movie Recommendee Show. It's called Matt's Obscure Movie Recommendee Show. Long live the Fandom Menace. Long live. So it's Matt's Obscure Movie Recommendee Show. Jaeger Bomb for $5. There's got to be an end to this nightmare of SJWs ruining everything. Some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. Some sign it will end. Yeah, I just showed you that A&E viewer drop for canceling live PD. That's it. And that's what I was trying to warn you all about for a long, long time, or during this whole riot situation. I said, we're reset to 2016 as far as Hollywood is concerned. We are reset. But the customers are not. The viewers are not. So they're going to come out with a bunch of woke shit over the next year, and it will be soundly rejected again, except I don't think they're going to get second and third chances. Hollywood's going to find themselves in quite the pickle because movie theaters are going to be gone. And streaming services don't bring in enough money. You're going to see a collapse in Hollywood. Something I never thought I'd see, but it just goes to show you nothing lasts forever. And they're at a crossroads.
Yeah, it's really weird. Really weird how fortunes have reversed, how even Disney is in deep trouble now. It's I mean, they were a juggernaut. They were on top of the world. Look at where they are now.
Yeah, without the parks open, they're fucked. Pretty soon they won't be able to produce a Star Wars movie. It'll be too expensive if they don't have a park open pretty soon. And you know what? They have a park open right now and nobody's going because people are so fucking scared. I think it's there's the beer bug is real, and we still need to live our lives. I just, maybe you'll get it. Chances are you'll be okay. You know, unless you're elderly or you have a pre-existing condition, then you need to be careful. You need to be really fucking careful. But, we got to get things going again too.
No, I don't know. All I do know is that it's not a whole lot of fun to go out with a mask on. It's just not, I don't want to go to a theme park and, stand in line and in a mask and the heat, I don't want to go out to a restaurant and what, eat through my mask. I mean, I'm not saying don't wear masks. I'm just saying, you know, it's discouraging. You know, it's a whole different experience. It takes the spontaneity and the fun out of living. And I just, yeah,
I think
I wouldn't want to go.
I'd go. I mean, I flip on my mask on and off. I don't wear it all the time when I'm outside. When I get close to somebody, I flip it on. So I have it in my hand all the time. And I go, I need my freedom, man. Like, there's no fucking way. I've been locked up before.
Oh, I know.
There's no way I'm going to let some fucking local politician tell me what I can do. So,
oh, it's not a question of telling what to do. It's a question of even, wearing it for your, I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying? The spontaneity is gone. And it's just, I don't know. It's discouraging and it's not fun.
Yeah.
So I understand people staying home from theme parks. It's just, fuck, who wants to go and get your temperature,
Oh, yeah, that's too invasive for me. I wouldn't fucking go. But I don't know. It depends. Like Disney World, I'm not that big of a Disney fan, but Universal, I might go. If there's no lines,
yeah.
If all I got to do is wear a mask and there's no fucking lines, that's a once in a lifetime.
That's true.
But yeah, it certainly takes the fun out of it. But I don't know. I don't like.
I'm just saying, I hope we get to the point where this shit is, done whatever it's going to do, and we don't have to just go out all the time wearing fucking masks, because it's just, it just is.
I would like the truth. I would like the truth without partisanship. I know I'm dreaming. Okay, that's not going to fucking happen, but that's what I'd like. I mean, just tell me the fucking truth. I can handle it, but you know what? I don't know if I'm getting the truth right now. As a matter of fact, I highly doubt we're getting the truth, the entire truth of any situation without some sort of biased or slant. And you know what? This was a time we really just needed the truth and not partisanship and an agenda. But that's what we got. And now I don't blame anybody for not believing a fucking word. I don't blame you at all. You've been lied to for so fucking long. We've been lied to. How are we supposed to believe this shit now? It's a failure of the mainstream media. It's not the people's fault. It's the failure of the mainstream media, our institutions. And it's fucking shameful. And it's ruining a lot of individual lives right now. And thankfully we can still do this, but we can't even fucking escape anymore. And that's my biggest problem with Star Trek. Star Trek's important, but it's not this life-changing thing. It's not this thing that's gonna give you its opinion on I don't know, pro-choice or something shit like that. It's a fucking science fiction TV show that was loved by so many people because it was a happy place. It was a happy place. That's all it was. And it was fun. It was fun. And all the fun has been taken out of so much of our entertainment.
It has. All the fun is gone, man.
Because entertainment has become way too self-important. They straight up think they're influencers now. Brie Larson, I don't know if you've seen any of her videos, but her latest video, holy fuck. Oh my God, it's so terrible. It is. We watched it on Friday Night Tights, and it's called An Important Conversation. And obviously, she has a black woman on. She's having a conversation about race. But the problem is, they don't mention what they're talking about for 5 full minutes. They have a conversation. You feel like you're left out of it because they won't approach any of the words they really want to say. So they're going, yeah, the thing is really important. Yes, with this important thing that we need to take really importantly and seriously. We need to continue taking seriously as we take our lives seriously. Yes, that thing is really important. We should, but they don't get to a fucking point for 5 minutes. And it's such bullshit. And it really is Hollywood encapsulated in one fucking YouTube video. Just mindless bullshit. Mindless bullshit. Oh my God. It was frustrating.
It must be insufferable.
It really was. So thank you, Jaeger Bob. Yes, there will be an end. Just keep in mind, you still do have your freedom. You can go wherever the fuck you want. There's certain places we can't go right now. That sucks. But, this is our time to maybe take up something new. That's it, and it sucks that movie theaters are dead. I love the idea of them, but I enjoyed them a lot more when I was younger. I don't really enjoy paying $50 to go somewhere now.
No, it's true. Yeah. I only went for really big movies or things like that, revivals maybe that I couldn't see, weird, little quirky things. But I do miss it from time to time, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, sir, we are at 3 hours. I know you are a busy man. And I'm going to probably cut this one short. I've got a lot of shit to do. So over the next month, all my live streams will be on schedule. I'll get plenty of videos. My background might change a little bit, but I am moving right now. As a matter of fact, my house is halfway packed up, and we're out of here at the end of the month. I'm going to start moving, and I'll probably be in my new place by the end of next month, right around my birthday. So I'm going to turn 51 here pretty soon.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not going to celebrate it at all. I'm going to it's another day. 51 is not a birthday you celebrate. You just go, I made it. Great. So we're going to wrap this one up. Sorry, it's wrapping it up early, but I do have a lot of shit to do. Of course, I'll do a square up with Friday Night Tights. If you missed the last square up, it's on Nerdrotic Live, and I did Inquisition and Friday Night Tights together. Doomcock, thank you for coming on. Sorry I had to cut it short. It was fun tonight. You were on fucking fire, dude. So
thank you. So were you, brother.
Thanks, man. So please plug your wonderful channels, both of them, and your Patreons and everything.
Well, I am Overlord DVD on YouTube, youtube.com/Overlord DVD. And I also have a little live stream channel, Harvey Cthulhu's channel, The Harvey Zone, youtube.com/The Harvey Zone. Please subscribe to those if you would, please. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Doomcock, with hours and hours, tens of hours, dozens of hours of exclusive content. I have Subscribestar as well, subscribestar.com/Doomcock. So please check them out and subscribe. And thank you, Gary. It was a great pleasure being here once again. Looking forward to the next time we do this next Sunday. And whenever we get back to ExoZone, it'll be a great fun as well.
Well, we are. And that plan we were talking about, I don't know, a year ago, 6 months, no, not a year, 9 months. We're going to be able to revisit that once this move is in, because thankfully I have Lady Gravemaster helping me out, and Mrs. Nerdrotic has a lot of time on her hands, so she'll be helping me out too. So that's going to free up my time so we can do that a lot more. Because I'm with you, man. If we could find a way to do that more, that'd be so great. That'd be so much fun.
That would be awesome.
I could just dive into that shit all day long. So we will do that. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks. Let me see who was the Modrotics tonight. Oops, I hit the wrong one. I hate it when I do that. Oh, I hit the wrong one again. Shit. We had Chris Persia, the best wrench in Canada, Stellar Heather, and Eric K was up there too. I know I always see Eric K. And Mark Lazerth. What's up, Mark? And there's Eric K. And thank you guys for showing up and being great Modrotics. Thank you to everyone who super chats. You are supporting independent content, and we appreciate you. Thank you to all the new members who joined up. We had over 3,500 people watching tonight. That is brilliant. The show continues to grow, and we love it. This was born out of the wreck that was Game of Thrones. And so the show is a little over a year old, and couldn't be happier with it. So the next time it'll be on Doomcock's channel. So keep an eye out there and on his Twitter. Give him a follow on Twitter as well. And everyone, have a great night. You bow to no one.